What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. Hope you are all doing well. We are now officially in November, and let's do a quick little table update, guys, just because I kind of, want to spice things up on the channel a bit. Yeah, I mean, just kind of feel like let's look at where we are at the table as things currently stand, because another Premier League week has finished. Another Premier League week is under wraps, barring, Sunderland and Everton, I believe, still have to play tomorrow. But another week in the wraps. Chelsea managed to pocket 3 points, but a lot of our competition also managed to do so. So if we look at the table, ladies and gents, Chelsea currently stand in 6th position with 17 points. First place, 8 points ahead, and yeah, we are 2 points away from second. Close table. You have, look at how close 11th to second are. So a lot of chopping and changing is going to be happening. Look at how Liverpool back in the title race after losing 4 in a row, right? Look at where they are right now. But yeah, still early days for the Premier League, so a lot of this can change. Hopefully Chelsea can remain consistent, and hopefully also this channel can stay consistent by you guys smashing that like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, people. Yeah, it's a round of applause for the chat. Big up the chat. Big up those casuals in there. Be sure to smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Smash that. Well, do you want to smash it? Do you want to gently caress or maybe assert your dominance on that hype button, which is a brand new feature that we have? So be sure to also hit that, as it does help with the YouTube algorithm. Be sure to also, links in the description, check that out. I will be hanging out on that Discord afterwards, so if you want to have maybe a few choice words pardon me, a few choice words about some of the things that are going to be said in the show, opinions or thoughts, food for thought, all that kind of stuff. Discord community is open for you guys to discuss, chit chat, and talk about whatever you want. So yeah, check that out. Cool little Discord community we have there. And lastly, memberships. You want to be a casual? Have you always dreamt of being a casual? Well, you can do so at the cost of 99p. You get some cool emojis like the little Estival emoji, or even a cold Palmer celebration there. You can do all that just by joining 99p on the membership. It helps out the channel tremendously, more than you can believe. More than you can believe. More than you can believe. Where's my more than you can believe thing? Is it here? I think I do have it. Oh no, I have the opposite.
And I'm not good enough. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, big up to every single one of you who are enjoying your emojis there. Big up to the members. All right, guys. No call-in shows. It's just a regular Casually Chelsea show. Panelists will be joining maybe later today. We'll see what happens. But we're going solo for now, guys, into the news. and discussing a few of the things that have come up since the last time we streamed. And if you were awake last night, then you know about the current champions in baseball, the current World Series champions. Ladies and gents, the Dodgers won the World Series last night. Yep. Dodgers are currently World Series champions. We'll go ahead and showcase this here on my screen. Thanks to Chelsea Fan Accountability. Congratulations, Chelsea's Todd Boehly on his Los Angeles Dodgers winning the World Series. World champions in football and world champions in baseball. So, yeah, I believe the Dodgers just won it back to back. So good on them. Dodgers being one of the best teams in baseball at the current moment. Todd Boehly being a co-owner. Yeah, this is always going to look good for Blueco. If Blueco, if Dodgers would have lost, I'm sure there's a certain portion of the fan base that would have used that against Todd Boehly. I do not doubt it whatsoever. So a very much needed victory for Blueco, we'll say that. But yeah, good for them. It was I couldn't watch it obviously because I was out last night, but from what I can tell, relatively dramatic way to finish the game. Dodgers were down 3-1 for most of the game, and I think it was an 8th inning run. They went up 3-2, then then they went 4-2, and then they went 4-3, and then they tied it in the last minute 4-4, and then I think they won in 10th extra innings. So all the way to game 7, people. So it was a dramatic series. It went all the way down to the wire. So big up to the Dodgers, back-to-back champions of the World Series. And there's Todd Boehly just enjoying the atmosphere. And hopefully he can bring some of that success over to Chelsea for more days to come. Scott, what's up, man? Any thoughts on the Dodgers winning the World Series? Or could you give fuck all about baseball?
No.
Yeah, it would have been late as fuck anyways for you, because it would have been like, in the UK, it would have been like, I don't know, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning to watch the game. It was late. The game didn't end until like, yeah, this morning really for you. I think the game finally ended around 2 in the morning EST, so it would have been 7 in the morning UK time.
Jesus.
Yeah. So yeah, because they were on the West Coast, so it was complete big time difference there. Also, the game went deep into the late innings. So, yeah, big up to the Dodgers. Congrats. Figured I'd insert that in there since it does relate to one of our owners. Let's go on to the next topic, which is something that, Scott, maybe you probably have more of a say on. Boxing Day schedule. So we had a change into the Premier League schedule this season where we are currently going to only be playing one game on Boxing Day. Or one Premier League game on Boxing Day this year. Yeah. Usually there's, Scott, correct me if I'm wrong. Usually there's multiple games on Boxing Day, right? And that's the day right after Christmas.
It's usually a what's the word, like a tradition thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
How do you feel about
there's
this? I mean, could you care less? Like, I have a feeling you're probably supporting not, so the players can enjoy time with their families and stuff.
Yeah, it's a weird one because, like, I am all for tradition. Like, it's one of those things that is kind of cool in terms of during the Christmas period, you can still watch football and whatnot. On, like, a personal note for the players, it's probably really, well, for most of the players, it's probably a really good thing in terms of, obviously, they get time off, or they don't have to play football. It's not obviously less games, but it hopefully, I actually haven't checked what the schedule's like around that time. It might mean it's less congested, maybe.
Hopefully.
But yeah, the only thing I find weird is the fact that it is still a game.
Yeah, I think it was ever.
Yeah, and why that game of all games?
Newcastle. That'll be the game.
Yeah, but apart from that, like as long as it's it's going to make things and make life easier for the players, that's probably the most important thing.
Yeah, I agree. It gives the players time to spend with their fans. Obviously, not United players or Newcastle players, but regardless, it's like from a consumer point of view, like yeah, a little bit of a bummer, but from just being fair for everyone. I'm all for this. Like, give the players a time off. Let them enjoy themselves with their family. Not have to worry about, oh, what I have to, consume and eat. Well, they probably do anyways, but just enjoy yourself, dabble, have a little fun here, eat a little bit this and that. That's part of the festivities. So, I'm all for this. This is fine with me, and plus it's such a congested schedule. I'm curious to see how it changes now that that's not going to happen, but we'll be there when that does happen. But it's not Chelsea this year. It's going to be United and Newcastle playing a game on Boxing Day, and Chelsea will only have one game that week. Okay, cool. Let's go on to another thing related to Todd Boehly. He's been making moves, and he is making moves in regards to the Lakers. So, latest on Todd Boehly is that he now owns pieces of 3 of the biggest sports teams on Earth, after it emerged that Boehly was part of the Mark Walter group that will set a world record by buying the Los Angeles Lakers for $10 billion next week. Walter and Boehly bought into the Lakers as minority owners in 2021, acquiring 27% of the team. After closing, the stake is expected to increase to around 85%, with Buss family retaining 15% and Jeannie Buss, the team's governor, remaining in her role. So, this being said, right, because I think Mark Walter is also part of the ownership group with Chelsea. And it's 37.5% stake. This is what I was saying before when we were talking about the future, the ownership between Boehly and Eghbali and all this. I do predict that what could likely happen. And right, there's context to all this. I think we discussed it, but just to recap it, I do feel that when it comes to Todd Boehly and how things happened at Chelsea, how he took over, it was an opportunity to buy. It was buying it on, I'm not a shoestring budget. It was like on quick notice, right? To come up with the amount of money to buy Chelsea when it's actually available for sale, it takes a lot. So I think the plan for Boehly was, let me get shareholders so that I can buy this. Let me do a consortium. And then once I have enough of the funds myself, I will slowly but surely buy back some of the shares that were towards a club. Now, I think Boehly will eventually buy Hansburg Wies's share and Mark Walter's share and all this and that. It'll just be Boehly and Eghbali. And then from there, who knows? It's a coin toss. I could see Eghbali maybe selling when he makes a profit to Boehly, but I do think down the line, and I'm talking after the 10-year mark, Boehly could potentially see himself as the main figurehead at the club, but that's years from now. I don't know if that's a lot of hogwash to you, Scott, or it makes sense, but it's kind of what he did for the Lakers. He wasn't a majority owner of the Lakers, and now slowly but surely opportunity came, and now he's a majority owner. And a big team too. Lakers are one of the best teams in basketball, if not the best.
Sure. I don't really know, just because I don't think any of us know what the plan is long term with the club in terms of from an ownership perspective. Yeah,
There's gonna be a lot of shifting.
I'm just not really sure, to be honest. It's not a great answer, I appreciate, but
yeah. I mean, let me ask you this then, in terms of, because we know where we stand right now in terms of how the ownership have been moving to directors and all this and that. Are you still of the belief that it'll be any different if Boehly were to say be majority owner versus Eghbali? I guess the better question is, has your opinion changed on it? Because I feel like we don't know more or less what we knew last season when we had this discussion.
No, I don't know, man. He might be better. The plan was obviously a lot different that summer, where we just bought a bunch of players. So who really knows? Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to hope he would be, but I don't think any of us really know, because that was so completely different what we did.
Yeah.
Compared to what we're doing now. See, I genuinely, again, I know it's a bit of a boring answer. I just don't know.
I would like to believe that I feel like if we have this structure that we have right now, I don't mind the structure. What I mind is the people within that structure. Like, I'm not a fan of I think the intent is there. What I'm trying to get at is that, like, I'm not exactly a fan of how consistently we've had, or how there's a lack of consistency when it comes to getting good appointees in terms of recruitment, good players in, right? Like, I get it. We have this model of get a bunch that you can at this amount, and some of these players will be duds, but some of them will be diamonds in the rough, and then boom, you have a great player there. That's fine. I feel like with other directors, maybe that have more of a balance of, okay, I understand I need to build for the future, but we have something now that we can build off of. Let me also get something that can serve me for now and also the future. That's, for example, let's say a Cherky. A Cherky is a player, in my opinion, that if you get him now, price-wise, good price. Age-wise, good age. He's a player that can impact your first team now, and a player that down the line could be an essential spine to the team if you nurture the talent and he goes on to be the player that I think he's going to be, which is one of the best players in the world. I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. I feel like with other directors, maybe you can mitigate how many of those players are duds, and you get players that are successes and players that can also affect the team now and be a success down the line. And Boehly is the one that is in charge, I guess, of those directors. Maybe you replace those directors, you put Boehly in that position with structure, guidance. Boehly's not using his money as recklessly. Maybe we have a more guided approach to recruitment. Boehly would be willing to spend the money. I feel like he's more generous when it comes to putting money into the club than Boehly, versus Boehly being just self-sustained. I think Boehly would be more willing to put money into the club, and maybe it could be something that, this is just hypothetical. I went on a whole rant. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry. That was a really long-winded answer. But essentially, that's what I feel like could potentially happen. I do feel like Boehly is more generous with his money in terms of investing into the club. I don't know if you guys want to input on that, or if we should just move on to the next. Just, give me a hoot or a holler, say your piece.
Oh, what are we talking about?
I guess so. It's okay. We don't have to go. We can go into the next topic.
I'm not even making a joke. What are we?
I know you're not making a joke, but I went on such a long-winded thing. I'm not going to repeat it. It's too long. Let's just go into the next one.
But like, just are we talking about Boehly and how something about he owns like major sports franchises or something?
Okay. The quick short of it that I'm going to try my best to do. Boehly just bought Boehly and Mark Walter bought a majority ownership in the Lakers. It started off as a minority, and then it became a majority. I said last season there's potential that in the future for Chelsea he might do the same. How do you feel about Boehly potentially being the full owner of Chelsea down the line, if that were to happen? That's essentially where I went.
Oh, Boehly buying a majority in Chelsea.
Yeah,
but he's already part of.
He doesn't own a majority. He only owns 38%, I think is what the number said.
Yeah, but isn't he part of Clear Lake? Or is that different?
It's different. Clear Lake is the company that Boehly and Feliciano, they're the... what's the company called? Like what's the type of company? Not a shareholder company. They're a investment group. So yeah, that's
okay.
under Iqbali.
So the consortium is Boehly and Clearlake, which is
Essentially,
basically
yeah.
what the
Hans
which the
Boehly's-
face of it is Iqbali, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Essentially, yeah.
I wouldn't mind because at least from what it looks like, Boehly is a good negotiator. However, I wouldn't
Is
want
he?
him to. Is he not a good negotiator?
I feel like Iqbali's the good negotiator.
Are
I
you
wouldn't
sure?
know. I don't know who does the negotiating. I'm assuming Iqbali's been the one that got like Caicedo and Enzo done. As far as we
It was
know.
Iqbali that got
Mudryk.
Caicedo on Enzo.
Yeah, that's assuming.
I think
who
they've
you
both
are.
been involved, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, maybe they were both
Then-
involved then. I don't know.
Yeah, and also when you look at the first window we had that summer, yes, fine, those signings didn't work out. But going out and getting one of the best young centre backs in Fofana, you went and got an experienced centre back in Koulibaly from a club in Napoli, who we all know it's almost impossible to negotiate with De Laurentiis. You went and got one of the best goal scorers in the league in Sterling. On paper, it all looked good. Yes, fine. Maybe the players themselves didn't work, whatever. But you went and negotiated those deals and you got them done. I think, but Boehly with a proper structure with him could work. But then again, I don't know what he's like with his other sports franchises. I don't watch other sports besides football. So, but in theory, we'll see. It could work. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, the first window was a horror show. In hindsight, at the time, we were all pretty happy with the signings that were happening. Like, and that's what I'm getting at. Like, I agree with Prime. If Boehly were to take over, I feel, this is just a feeling, there's no facts behind it, but I feel that from what I've seen, I feel like he'd be more charitable, more willing to spend money versus Iqbali, who is only willing to spend what's being made within the club and working under a budget per se. Who knows? I mean, this is something that we won't even know about until years down the line because these things take money. But just remember, if this does happen, remember where you heard it first, chat. All right.
Yeah, I mean, because if Boehly had more of a say, maybe he'd be able to convince our board or whoever that this summer we should have gone in for some of the ready-made players.
Yeah.
We should have gone in for that top center back or a top goalkeeper or a top striker to make the jump. Because as much as we haven't been that good this season, look at where we are. We're not, what are we, 6 points away, 7 points away from Arsenal?
We are
8 points away from first. Sorry, I was muted.
8 points. Okay, 8 points. That's not that much. If we win our games until we play Arsenal and then we beat them, that could drop to maybe 5 points, assuming they don't drop any as well. Like, we're not actually that far away, which is annoying. Because
they'll drop points. The thing is, the hardest team they've had to face in this run they've had recently was Crystal Palace, which, to be fair, kudos to them. They passed that test. They managed to keep Crystal Palace to one shot on target, and they won 1-0. It was, I think it was Eze that scored a goal, right? It was like a brilliant Eze goal. And that's it. They haven't really been tested. If anything, they've been doing what we should have been doing, which is beating the teams you're expected to beat. And so we'll see how many points Arsenal can keep in their next run of games, because let me actually look at Arsenal's schedule. Matches. All right. Arsenal coming up have Slavia Prague, winnable. Sunderland could prove to be a banana slip. Time will tell. And then they have Spurs, Bayern, Chelsea, Brentford, also not necessarily an easy club, Villa, and then they go into another run of easy games. So they could drop points in that run of games, in the league as well as in UCL and stuff. all that stuff affects with wins, losses, and how confidence works and all that. So Prime's not wrong. We're not too far from the top, and we just got to be consistent. We just got to be consistent. Otherwise, this is all for nothing. Okay, cool. Let me move on to the next topic real quick. We'll just touch on this. We'll move on to other stuff. Okay, Infinite Athlete. So just a quick little update on what's happened to this brand, this sponsor we had. Sponsor that was somehow in cahoots with Blue Co or something like that. I think they were part of the investment group under Clear Lake or something. Exos, an operator of elite performance training facilities and corporate wellness programs, has reached an agreement to acquire Infinite Athlete, an AI infrastructure technology provider, and its subsidiary, BioCore, a player health and safety firm with deep ties in the NFL. So Infinite Athlete is essentially being purchased by another company. So there goes Infinite Athlete. I mean, I don't know what exactly the ties and relations it had to Chelsea, but they're getting sold. They're not going to be a sponsor. Don't know what else really to add to this other than that. I thought it was a curious thing to see that Infinite Athlete, our previous sponsor, has been purchased. So unless you guys have any other thoughts, I think this is like a quick just drop a little bit of knowledge and then move on.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, cool. Let's go. Oh man. All right. How do I intro this next one? We'll just do one of these. We'll just do one of these. How about this?
No. You try again.
That's what it sounds like.
No, try again.
All right. Wesley Fofana under scrutiny. Why? Because of this. Chelsea defender Wesley Fofana, who is already serving a 2-year ban for 8 previous speeding offenses, must now complete 300 hours of community service. This is why. Chelsea Wesley Fofana filmed speeding down hard shoulder in 9th driving offense. Okay. So this is just reckless driving. And I'm not going to lie to you. After listening to Fofana, Jesus, this is so dangerous. After listening to Fofana speak in a few interviews here and there, I'm starting to pick up certain things about his personality. And I think one of the things about his personality I've noticed is that he's a hothead. He's just a hothead. And he strikes me as one of those, like, just mostly brawn, not enough brain type of characters where he's just aggressive. And it's been doing great for him in terms of his defensive ability when he's fit. But it also gets him into trouble because he's just macho. He's just tough. So he doesn't think too much. He mostly just acts. And this doesn't surprise me. Yeah, he's an idiot for doing this. I don't know what else there is to say. He shouldn't drive. This is just stupid. Yeah, what do you guys think?
No, I agree. I like it is absolutely wild to me that he hasn't had his license taken away.
Yeah,
like it's utterly insane
that
he hasn't had
get away
his
with shit like this all the
away.
time. It's ridiculous.
Like the speeding itself is stupid. Like it's dumb. The bit that gets me with this and where I'm at, like in kind of shock, like I said, he hasn't had it taken away, is that's his 9th offense.
Yeah. Let me actually take this off so you guys can actually see. Yeah, it's a 9th driving offense. So he's been in this country, what? Not this country, in the UK. 6 years now. 9 driving offenses. Probably 5 years. Because he was at Leicester for 3 seasons or 2 seasons. I think it was 3 seasons. So 6 years, give or take. But yeah, it's just like, this is unnecessary. There's no need to do this. It's just really stupid. It's not thinking. And on top of it, you put yourself under scrutiny more than you already are. People are already putting pressure on you because they need you to stay fit. And then when you get a performance like you did yesterday where you were sensational, then this takes away from it. It takes away the shine. So It's annoying. Prime, did you want to add anything before we move on to this, or other stuff?
Oh, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, Wesley Fofana.
Oh yeah, he's dumb.
Yeah.
Especially what just happened with the whole with the Getz situation. I'm assuming you don't know who he is, Marshall. An English rapper who was involved in a hit and run. He ran over someone while intoxicated and tried to hide evidence and stuff. And now he's in trouble. So with this coming out as well, Fofana, yeah, this guy might just, if he can't even say fit, he might be worth more hassle than he's actually worth keeping.
That you saying that, Prime, by the way, just reminded me that this is also, and I don't expect everyone to understand and like know of this, but if you go on, like if you're Englishing on BBC Sport or doing that, this was literal days after a footballer was involved in a car accident where someone died.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Inter Milan backup goalkeeper literally hit someone and killed them, like not intentionally. And I don't even know if he was speeding in that instance. He hit someone in a wheelchair and they died days ago.
Horrible. It's it's just, again, I don't get it. And I've seen people drive like that. It's absolutely insane to me that they don't get caught. I think Fofana, after this, just revoke his license. 300 hours of community service. Sure, but just revoke his license. He can't drive until X amount of time, and then he has to retake just make him go through the whole thing again. If it's this so much of a hassle to get your license back, don't fucking drive like an idiot next time, and maybe you won't have to deal with it. I think it's that simple, and it should be done that way, because I as someone who drives a lot for a living, seeing some shit like that just annoys me. Especially, you're a professional, man. You have a lot to lose, so you can't be doing stupid shit like that. And you know, we've seen it all the time, guys, in sports. Like these athletes have fun, go out to parties, and then they start driving, and sometimes they get into incidents that are not good. And John Jones is the one thing in the forefront of my mind right now that I'm thinking, like, don't be stupid. Okay. Let's move on from that. Fofana, be better. And then let's actually go on to something a little interesting here. So there's been a little bit of movement in terms of directorship, or the what the hell am I even thinking? I can't even think right now.
Words are
it doesn't. Words are hard today. They are. But in terms of the hierarchy and all that stuff, there's been some movement. So we'll start off with Strasbourg first. So new directors are coming in town. So we'll start off with Strasbourg. I think this is going to be an interesting one. I think this is more suiting for Strasbourg. But former Brighton director David Weir joins Blue Coat Project at Strasbourg as new sporting director. So David Weir, who's David Weir? And I'll look that up while we talk about it. I'm going to look up who David Weir has been responsible for recruiting and scouting and such for Brighton.
I don't know about who he was directly involved
I feel like
in.
Baleba's in that conversation.
But the problem with it, Marshall, is it's the same thing I said after the Fallows thing of all these guys are involved. It's never just one dude, unless it's a Joe Shields thing and it's all the Manchester City Academy players. Then it is kind of one dude. Outside of that, it's never really one dude. I think I could be wrong, and it might be someone else. I could have sworn this guy was involved in Rangers as well, but I might be thinking of someone else.
I'll look into it. I think this is for me, this seems like a great appointment for Strasbourg. Obviously, for us, the whole Win Stanley, Lawrence Stewart thing, that's where things get this is Chelsea. If you want to put this at Strasbourg, fine, because they're that level and they can become that assignment, I think, could take them to the next level, sure. But here at Chelsea, there's already a certain level, and I feel like the sporting directors are performing under that level. Time will tell with the results, right? Because that's the biggest marker for me of success. But yeah, I feel like this seems like a good one, and time will tell with this. Okay, yeah, and this is Chelsea officially announcing that Dave Follows is now going to be part of the club's sporting leadership team, joining the club on November 1st. Yesterday on a contract to 2031. So he's here on 6-year contract with Chelsea. We continue on. Ben Jacobs is pretty much breaking it down here for us. Chelsea have strengthened their leadership team with the appointment of Dave Follows as sporting director, football development. Highly rated Follows will start his new role from November 1st on a contract until 2031. Chelsea now have 5 sporting directors. The unique model is still led by co-sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, who will head up all aspects of the football department. Follows' focus will be on scouting, data, loans, and player pathways. Joe Shields, sporting directors, scouting and talent, and Sam Jewell, sporting director, global recruiting, also now carrying sporting director in their titles. This 5-strong team, led by Winstanley and Stewart, oh god, that sounds terrible, each have distinct areas they are accountable for, while the overall football department is viewed as having shared accountability and collaboration rather than a single focal point. Interesting. We'll come back to this. And then here's Chelsea's updated leadership team. Winstanley, Lawrence Stewart, pure sporting directors. David Follows, sporting director with a focus on football development. Joe Shields, sporting director with a focus in scouting and talent. And Sam Jewell, sporting director with a focus in global recruiting. Sounds like college degrees, to be honest. But yeah, this is interesting. Listen, what I can hope for in this is that this guy actually makes it so some of these players that we don't know about, some of these players that are highly touted, we're talking like the Sloninas of the world, or the who was the player we had last year, the Italian, oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking out on his name. Cassidy, thank you. The Cassidy's of the world, Carnichico, so on and so forth, maybe actually have a legitimate path into the first team versus the guesswork that we have right now. And hopefully, which we've been very critical of here on the channel, hopefully leads to better loans, maybe even better negotiating in terms of who we can loan to, because let's be honest, if you had stayed at Sunderland, I have a good feeling he would have been stuck and rotting on the bench and would have just hindered his development more than it's being hindered now. But yeah, thoughts on David Follows. He's officially now at Chelsea. Go ahead, Prime.
Hopefully this means that we don't have to buy a bunch of random people for Chelsea, because we're wasting our money and our squad potential by buying a lot of young kids that we're just going to send to Strasbourg on loan anyway. We're wasting things. So instead of us having to buy like sorry, my mind blank for a second. Instead of us having to buy like some of these young kids, they could have just been bought at Strasbourg and play there for 2 years or whatever. And if maybe they're good enough for Chelsea, then we can just buy them from Strasbourg ourselves instead of having to you know, for example, like buy Chuameka at Chelsea and have him be loaned to Strasbourg from Chelsea, which is wasting a loan spot. So we're going into every summer having to plan that, we can't just, you know, send out players because we have to save 2 or 3 loan spots from the minimum that we have to be able to go to Strasbourg and stuff. It's just kind of a waste. Hopefully now things can be planned a lot better and Chelsea squad can actually progress because we don't have to abide by some sort of PSR because we've wasted money having to help Strasbourg from Chelsea. Am I explaining what I'm saying properly?
Yeah, you are. I think another thing that I really hope this helps with is just have David Follows be the guy in charge of making sure these younger players are going out to other clubs, right? If Paul and Lawrence, if you guys just want to focus on the big signings, like the João Pedro's coming in, or I don't know, we were in there for Osimhen and all this and that. If you want to focus on that, cool. But let Dave Follows then focus on the other stuff that was probably on their plates, which was, oh, where do we have to send Acheampong? Do we keep him or do we loan him? What about George's loan? We got to get this going so that we can fund this, and let him be in charge of that so that you guys can focus on the big signings. And hopefully that means that the negotiating gets better and we're not doing, because let's also be honest, if you read it specifically with Osimhen and Olise, part of the complaints that were being touted were that it seemed like Chelsea were never serious about the player when it came to the negotiations.
Elise, I
think
disagree.
that's because their attention was deviated at other things as well.
I think Elise we were the first time, 100%. That's why we got, threatened with legal action. But and even the second, to be fair, I think we were, but I think we might not have been as much because of Palmer working, because obviously he was who we pivoted to after we didn't get Elise. But yeah, so I think that was part of it. Yeah, I agree with the Osimhen thing. We were never really interested. If we wanted him that badly, we would have got him. But yeah, so like,
Are you
this
talking
whole
about
thing
this summer or last summer?
Last summer.
But both summers, to be fair, like all the time.
I think we were seriously last summer. This summer, no.
But it's not about whether being serious or not, though. What I'm trying to get at is that I remember during that Elise saga, one of the things that came out, and I think it was Elise's agent that said when we were negotiating with Chelsea, they seemed more focused on Esteval, and Elise felt that they weren't serious about actually trying to sign him because they were more worried about Esteval and other things on the table, which is why I'm hoping Dave Follows take that off and let them focus on, when Stanley and Stewart, let them focus on Elise's and all the big name signings that we're going to need, down the line. Eventually, we're going to have to come into a situation where we're going to have another big name signing. And I say another.
Marshall,
go ahead.
I'm being so serious. I don't think that Fallows is going to do anything to address that bit. I mean, which was why I wasn't hyped at all when he came in, because I wanted to see what would be the dynamic. Would he work under those clowns? Would he work above them? He's going to work under them. Great.
Also, I wasn't talking about Olise.
No, but that's one of the examples, at least. I think Osimhen had the same issue too, where like some of the rumors that were coming out were that part of the reason Osimhen's deal didn't come out is because he didn't seem serious.
We didn't want as to pay that big of the money in terms of the price tag and the wages that the agent and De Laurentiis wanted. This summer, I agree, we weren't serious this summer about him.
No,
because we wanted to laugh and stuff. But even what you were saying was true about Fallos getting the big money players, it still has to fall in line with what the plan is for the team. So yes, we may have wanted Olise, and Olise, at least at the time when we wanted him, and maybe even now, to be fair, is better than Esteval. If we still have a plan in mind of what we want this squad to look like, from their perspective, there's no point buying Olise for the big money he'll cost when Esteval is projected to be just as good or maybe better in a couple of years than being at Chelsea. That's their thinking of it.
Yeah. Also,
so even if Fallows comes in, there's no guarantee, like what Scott said. I don't think there's a real guarantee that it means we then get in the big players unless the whole structure that we have actually changes. The structure doesn't change. I don't think Fallow makes that big of a difference, unfortunately.
Also, Marshall, what do you, when you say big money signings, what do you mean? Like, how much are we talking?
Maybe not big money. I'm thinking maybe like big profile. Like,
because I'm going to be completely honest with you, I genuinely don't think we sign any more players like that.
No. I feel like we do. I just can't. Like off the top of my head, the only player I can think of that is of that caliber that I'm thinking about is Yildiz, for example. Like there's still links to us to Yildiz, and Yildiz I feel like would be a big profile signing. Actually, I'm not. What am I saying? The kid from Barca. What's his name again? That we were linked to? Fermin Lopez.
Fermin Lopez.
He's another one that
That's not.
It's
That's not.
Fermin
like a big
Lopez is-
profile.
That I would
signing.
not.
He's not a big profile.
That's not a big profile at all. Like when we say big profile, I'm talking about your Caicedo and Enzo level signings.
Exactly.
Would
We're
you
never-
say
Caicedo-
Well,
and
Elise is a
even
big
Ca-
profile signing.
even-
No,
Even
Elise
Caicedo-
was, but yes, Elise was. We didn't sign him. Osimhen was. We didn't sign him. The biggest since those two, since Caicedo, the biggest profile signing we've made in terms of name recognition is Neto, and he's just average.
Yeah,
He's the biggest profile we've signed in terms of
Like-
that name, Pedro Neto.
Marshall, by big name, we mean in terms of like they are top, say maybe 3 or 5 in their position.
No, I know
at the
that.
start
Like
right
the
now.
Yeah.
Dembele's, the
I say when we're talking of
yeah.
these signings, I'm thinking as well of like,
Rodrigo.
yeah, I'm talking like
Mhm.
clear level raises from the get go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean price because you can get an elite
That's
player
what I mean,
on
yeah.
for good money. So it doesn't necessarily mean price. I just mean in terms of ready-made
Mhm.
quality. I don't think
Like,
we are. Going
That's
to
why I
do
was
that.
saying like Yildiz is the closest thing I could think of in this situation right now. But by the time we get to the summer, there's always one
Where-
player that has like a genuinely a big breakout season. They're a young
I was
player.
thinking like Yildiz is never going to leave.
But yeah, but Marshall. Okay, where does Yildiz play? Is he a
Juventus.
striker? Is he a 10?
No, he's
He's
like
a
a
winger.
10/winger. They were playing like
Okay. So
3-4-2-1.
So what we have in João Pedro?
No.
He's kind of, I tell you what, he's kind of like Palmer at Esteval, but for the left hand side.
So like a half space player, basically.
Yeah, so he's kind of what we like Javi Simmons is, but better.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or meant to be better.
What isn't the plan? I thought the plan was, since we bought Enzo, is that we don't need to spend big money on another Enzo Fernandez. We're gonna find Enzo before he goes to Benfica. I thought that was the plan. So
Yes.
why?
But
would we go
Olise,
spend
like for
big on
example,
Yildiz?
Olise is an example of what I'm talking about. Olise wasn't a big money signing, but he was
How much would
in
Olise
terms
have
of
cost?
like Olise
At
was
that
around
time?
60, I think.
That's a lot.
How much did Olise go to Bayern for? Let me actually look this up.
Yeah, 60.
No, not him going to Bayern. How much were we gonna pay for him?
I think
I
we
think
were
we
going to
wa-
pay 60
around that price, yeah.
the first season. When we were
60
going to
million
get him,
euros, so 50 million
That,
pounds.
Different.
that's still,
league.
that's still, I guess, kind of a lot of money. But even still, like, why?
Prime, we paid that much for João Pedro. So like I have
Exactly.
a feeling next summer we could potentially, I don't think next summer, but let's just say in 2 summers, we could potentially go in for a signing like that, and that could be one of those types of
Marshall,
signings, a 60
Where-
million,
okay,
70 million
Where,
pound
where
player.
would Yildiz? Because I'm just trying to think. This
You
is
get
the
it,
bullshit
I just feel like
that
you're
they
getting
do
too
with this
stuck up
squad.
on Yildiz.
Okay,
It was
where
just a
would-
hypothetical.
No, I know, but I'm just, even if we use Yildiz, where does he
Mhm.
play? Where would he play at Chelsea?
Left attacking, 10, left wing.
I also, by the way, on a side note, I don't think this Yildiz
No,
thing's
wait,
going
hold
to
on, Scott.
happen.
Hold on, Scott.
Yeah.
He played left wing, but
Sure.
we already have Gittins. Whether we like it or not, Garnacho's here. And then we
So
have
again, don't
Ender
focus on
coming in next
Yildiz.
summer.
You can put insert X name there.
But
I
even that
even said
name-
the other player from Barca. Keep forgetting his name.
Okay, but even, fine. Fermin
But
Lopez.
Fermin Lopez isn't that level of signing either, though.
No, I know he's not. But even if we look at Fermin Lopez, that's great. But we also have Kendry Paez, who's meant to be at Strasbourg to get you
How did we
playing
even
in
get
Europe.
into this
All
conversation
couple.
again?
I'm just-
we were talking
I'm
about
just
what was going to
saying-
change.
I'm just looking at, again, squad planning is just dumb because every year you're
Oh,
always gonna
I
get
remember.
a kid that has a breakout year and
Mm-hmm.
potentially looks better than what we have. Look at what, bro. The window ended. We bought a Mega from Strasbourg. 2 months later, that Panicelli guy is scoring goals, and
Yeah.
he looks amazing. So you're always gonna get another kid that breaks out. You just need to kind of trust what you're doing and trust your scouting. Because why are we, if we wanted Yildiz so much, why not have just bought Yildiz in the summer instead of buying Gittins and Garnacho?
We've wanted Yildiz for a while, but I think the thing is we're not getting him. But also, like, again, Marshall, I think I know we're taking a bit literally with the Yildiz thing. I don't think we're gonna do. Look at who we've been linked with. Look at who we've actively tried to sign. There has been no attempt to make these big name, profile kind of signings. Like I said, we were interested in Yildiz, but I don't think that's ever happening because I don't really think he's leaving Juve anytime soon. We were never in for Xavi Simons, like never truly in for Xavi Simons. We bought Garnacho, he's not of that profile. Neither's Fermin Lopez, at least not currently. Who else have we been linked with in the last window? Omega's not. Even Panicelli is not that profile now. We only know of him because of he's at Strasbourg. So yeah, like I just don't think we're making those type of signings anymore. We're trying to make those type of signings before they become the big profile.
But we're not even doing that properly, Scott. Because
no, I know we're not. But I know we're not doing that properly. But that's
Panicelli. So why are we now looking at because I'm hearing little rumors we could get Panicelli as well. If we had Panicelli, why not just buy him instead of Omega? Actually, why not buy Omega anyway in the window? We had him, so why are we buying him when the window ends? Why not buy Omega in the first place in the summer instead of potentially getting the lap? I'm just saying, squad planning is just so poor.
The reason for the Omega thing in terms of why buy him after the window that isn't necessarily squad planning. That's a money thing, but the reason that's a thing is because they've spent money so piss poorly.
But that's why, like, the whole point of what I was trying to say is that I feel like they're always going to try to look for that player around that 60 to 80 million price tag that is on the cusp of being that world beater. And I'm not saying it's always successful. My point being is that if you are on a negotiating table with a player like that, we've seen previously where when your focus wasn't on that player, when your focus was also on the Esteval and the youth recruitment and all that stuff, the who to send out on loan and all that, the people on the other side of that negotiating table, the Olise, the Osimhens of that, there have been reports that they see that and they don't appreciate it and it goes against you. Maybe with Dave Follows coming in, maybe the directors can focus on some of those signings, because who knows? Like, in reality, we don't really know. Like, was João Pedro your first choice? Did you have other players in that first choice list? I don't know. We could speculate. I feel like there was a time where we genuinely were interested in Osimhen, but didn't get it across the table because maybe we were too busy fucking off on other things rather than focusing on that. Same thing goes with Olise. And I think in the future, there will be a player around that price tag that, the next move he makes is going to be a really, like, look at Eze, for example. Eze, for the price he went to Arsenal, that could take him to the next level. And there will be a signing like that. Maybe not this summer, but maybe the following summer. We did it with João Pedro, essentially.
João Pedro's not that. I'm sorry, Marshall.
He's not. He's not. But
João Pedro,
that was kind of the idea.
But the Eze thing is actually a fantastic comparison, because that's the Caicedo thing that we did in terms of you went out there and you took a lower Premier League team. And it doesn't have to necessarily be a Premier League team, right? Like, but it's kind of easier for them in terms of the adaptation period and this, that, and the other. You took their best player by a long margin, right?
Yeah.
Same with Arsenal. They went and took Crystal Palace's best player. Like, arguably their best player. Yeah, the Mbumo thing as well. Obviously, he's gone to a kind of a mess of a team, so it's a bit different. João Pedro was not
looking electric for them. Yeah.
True. João Pedro, watching Brighton last season and just in general over the last couple of seasons, he's not their best player. He was not their best player. No. Like, the fact that they were able to, like, last season especially, rotate him out, put him on the left wing at times, and you had Ruter up front, but Ruter's come in, for example, from Leeds, and has basically taken his position in terms of that kind of 10 striker thing. He wasn't their best player. And as much as this isn't me trying to shit on João Pedro either, because he's been excellent for us.
Yeah.
And I think he is a very good signing. But he was not that as a transformative.
When Elise
signing.
went to Bayern, he was Crystal Palace's best player. When
He was their best
Osimhen went to, well, you could make the argument that it was between him and Kvara that were the best players in Napoli at the time.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
again, you look at what both of them have done since they left
Yeah.
Napoli. In terms of the two best players have left, gone to two clubs and leagues where they're arguably the best in both their club and league.
But and I'm glad we just talked about this, because that brings me again to Kvara. He was another player that wasn't going to cost you a lot, but you know that based on what you saw, the potential, like he could be a world beater in the future. Like with 2-3 more seasons, he's like on that cusp. We were interested, but never hit the negotiating table. Maybe because there were other priorities and all that. Like maybe with less of a workload, maybe things like this could get done. This is just whole hypotheticals and hopium.
To give you an idea, by the way, obviously wages is a bit different.
Yeah.
We spent 20 million more on a combined Gittins and Garnacho than they spent on Kvara. Obviously, the wages are different. That's why I said it's not inaccurate.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna get. If we weren't just messing about, like wasting money, we could have been more willing to just do that deal for Kvaratskhelia. But because we keep wasting money on random players that either we don't need or we buy them for Strasbourg. Like, for example, last year we did that with, or maybe 2 years ago, we did that with Caleb Wiley. Strasbourg couldn't afford him, so we had to buy him and loan him.
Oh no, the Caleb Wiley's different. We were always interested in buying him and doing the loaning out thing. The one you're on.
No, the stuff that because the reports I saw, and maybe you're right, but the reports I saw was they wanted him, they couldn't afford him, so we bought him. That's just the reports I saw at the time.
The one that is absolutely true for was Mugu. The Caleb Wiley one, I think we were always going to buy him because it only cost us 10 mil to buy him. It didn't even cost that much.
It wasn't that expensive.
Yeah, I know, but they could. Oh, well, okay. I'm just saying the reports I saw at the time. But regardless, if you're going to do this young model, but also maybe go and buy players if their market opportunity is there, you've wasted a market opportunity on Kvaratskhelia. Yildiz, as good as he is, I don't know if we actually need him in terms of positions in the team. But we do really need Kvaratskhelia on the left. As much as I like Gittins and I like his potential, Kvaratskhelia is the best left winger on the planet. Why? And he was available to get. So, because we're going to, and I know Yildiz, you just said, is a name, but if we get Yildiz, where does he play? If we get Fermin Lopez, where does he play? Is he even better than Paez, who is supposed to be in this team? Like, do you see the squad building? Why I have a problem with it? We're spending all this money on looking at all these attackers, but we still have a problem at center back.
But it all stems from the fact that we didn't recruit properly from the first place. And I also say this too. The one thing that I also hope, and I just thought about this, if Dave Follows comes in, I hope that means that there's no more of these sagas that drag out all summer.
Oh, there will be.
Please. No, there shouldn't be, because now you have less work to do. You're not in charge of
why do they have
looking
less,
for
Marshall?
Because the idea is,
why do they have less work to do? We just saw the thing that got brought up. This is the 5th sporting director. How many different sporting directors do you need in the building for you to have like the amount of workload that means you can get a deal done without it taking an entire month?
This is where, like,
do you need 10 sporting directors?
I understand. You don't. My point in saying that is that I'm hoping that as a result of this, that means less time being spent on negotiating, because now your job is no longer to look for the loans for Guiu and all this and that. Now there's someone else that can do it for you. Your job is no longer to make sure you have the player pathways for Penicelli and all this lined up, and that there's a plan that you have to present to X person. Now your job is solely to make sure if these guys give you a result, you pull the trigger on it or something. That's what I'm assuming the job would entail. It's an assumption. If that's the case, then you can focus on negotiating for these players and get these players across the line quicker, because now there's less bullshit for you to have to focus on. There's one player, get the deal done, focus on it, and don't stop until the deal's done. Because these negotiating things take way too long. I know it's always involving two parties, not just one, but let's make our part of the negotiating easy and straightforward instead of doing the guessing in weeks. Oh, let's come back to the table next week, and oh, we're dragging out this whole OSIM, and then it's the deadline day and it hasn't gotten done, and boom, there's no backup plan. Boom. So same thing goes with whatchamacallit, with Jackson. That saga took forever. When you think about it, it took what, a month and a half, 2 months to finally get him going, and even then he's coming right back. So it's just stuff like that I hope it mitigates the amount of, these things that we've complained about. Time will tell. Is my hope high? Not too much, but logically I would think this is something that could happen, and if it does happen this way, I think it'd be more efficient. Well, final thoughts, guys?
Sure. No, just sure. Like I said, I've got no.
At the end of the day, we're just gonna have to see how it works.
Yeah, I've got no faith in sporting directors at all currently.
I don't blame you.
I obviously want to be proven wrong, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the aftermath of yesterday's game. We have here a few things that Maresca came out and said that we didn't go over yesterday, as well as some news in regards to the next game we're going to be playing. So let's go ahead and discuss Enzo Maresca and Tottenham's XG. I think the performance was very good on and off the ball. The way we pressed was very important. We were also very good at that versus Liverpool. You need that if you want to come close to the top. You always need goals, but you also need to concede less goals. I very much agree with that. On the performance, Maresca said he's happy with the 3 points, especially because we kept the clean sheet. We need that for the future. We are going to score goals, but we need to do better defensively. 100% agree. He said this on Reece James's performance in the midfield. I think today we need a little bit more physicality in the middle. We expected them to play with Sarr, Polina, and Bentancur. It depends a little bit on the game plan. Reece is doing fantastic in midfield and fullback, and in terms of leadership in the changing room. In regards to Reece, I think there's actually something here on Reece real quick before we go on Enzo. Reece James registered more successful ball recoveries than any other player for either Tottenham or Chelsea. He also registered 100% successful long balls, 4 out of 4, which is good. Enzo Fernandez created more chances, 4, completed more attacking third passes, 17, wow, and more passes into the opposition's final third, 10, than any other player for Spurs or Chelsea. I think he had a decent game yesterday, for sure. In regards to Reece, okay. There's that. And then we find out that Wolves sacked Vitor Pereira today. So next time we play them, which will be, my calendar's right here, Saturday. There'll be a manager bounce, different manager there. I'm not worried about it. I think we're still going to be able to beat Spurs, but just something to bring up. In regards to the physicality thing, like, I'm imagining yesterday's game. Like yesterday, Reece was okay. He did get bullied and lost the ball a few times, this and that. If that was someone else, like Santos, and I'm not trying to disrespect Santos, I just don't think Santos is where James is in terms of physicality. It could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. So I kind of get where Maresca's coming from with the whole having physicality in the midfield. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I know the whole Reece James in midfield thing splits hairs.
He was excellent yesterday.
You thought he was excellent?
Yes, he was the third best player on the pitch.
Oh, wow. I thought he was a little frustrating at times, but again, now in hindsight, when I think about it, if that was someone else in that position, like if that was Enzo, oh God, Enzo,
especially on the ball.
That's what I mean. Like that, and thank you for saying that, because Enzo was 50-50 for me, because that's exactly what you were saying, Scott, right? He got beat physically sometimes on the ball, but then when he had the ball, there were times where he was creating some good chances that we just didn't take the chance to score. Or sometimes he would recover the ball. Very 50-50, you know? But Reece, in that position, he had a tough job to do, and they made it tough for him. That's why he, got dispossessed a few times. You had some moments. But if that was someone else outside of Lavia, I think it's an even worse situation. And if anything, Reece James mitigated how much of the damage would have been done in that game. Yeah, CP or Prime, do you guys have any other alternate thoughts in regards to this whole Reece James midfield thing? It comes up every single time he plays, so.
Not really.
Okay.
What I mean is like people are gonna bitch and complain when they're expecting the Reece James from when he first broke through and didn't have like multiple injuries and was out for
Mhm.
2 seasons because they want the whole wing back situation all over again. Well, he's playing a slightly different role, but what has he been? He's been healthy for 10 months. When's the last time that's
Yeah.
happened? That's been over 2 years since I've
Actually,
seen this in my life.
while you're talking.
And as long as Reece James is on the pitch, no matter what position he plays, he's quality. So I'd rather have him on the pitch in some capacity than keep on having this idealistic view of what he would. It's like not getting over a girl or like idealizing a girl from when she was like 20 and now she's like 25. And you're like, I wish she still had the body of when she was 20. I'm like, brother, like, what are we doing? Age is a factor. Like, literally, what is this bullshit, bro? Like, yeah. So yeah, I think he was pretty good in midfield. It was frustrating in terms of him holding on to the ball at times too long. That's where he was losing the ball for me. It's like sometimes he would
Fair.
progress it into traffic or wouldn't release it quickly. That's the only few times when he did lose the ball is when he was losing it. But other than that, yeah, he was great class, great physicality, helping the midfield build up and also attack. So yeah, props to him, man. And keep staying healthy, brother, because there was that nasty tackle by Bentancur, and like every Chelsea fan is literally getting Vietnam style flashbacks, and then
I did get PTSD.
he
I'm
played
not
the
gonna
full
lie.
game after that. So and knock on wood, there's still no reports with regards to him, feeling any niggle or anything. So yeah, good on him.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna bring that up. Since the 13th of September, he's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those games were 90-minute games. So 6 90-minute games in a row. I'm happy with that. And I hope it continues because when he's in the team, he makes a big difference.
Also, I just want to say, what is this fucking nonsense I'm hearing from DHL? I strongly disagree. He's better at right back. And if we can't get him fit, then let's get another world class. You know what? Because they fucking pop up on trees. Have we, before Reece James, have we ever had a world class right back? But by the way, maybe Aspilicueta because he was consistent. But in terms of technical ability and defensive, like, what are we doing? You could say we've had great left backs in our history, but we've never had a world class right back until Reece James. So what the fuck are you smoking? And if you want to talk about Trent, we were literally bantering Trent for not being good defensively, so he just got here offensively. And the only other you could say world class right back right now is Hakimi. So you're saying we should buy Hakimi off PSG? That's what you're saying. What is this stupidity I'm fucking hearing?
Yeah.
Also, I don't think anyone. When I say
No
he was,
offense, just because you have a keyboard doesn't mean you're smart enough to fucking type shit. Sometimes I swear to God, bro. Sorry.
even though I said he was excellent yesterday, that's not me saying that he's a better midfielder than a right back. I just think he was excellent yesterday in a role that isn't his normal. Well, for the most part, isn't his normal role. He has obviously played there and such. But yeah, so like he's still there, and I don't really think there's any issue with him in terms of staying fit. There is an issue, obviously, in terms of his backup currently. That being said, he was actually pretty good yesterday. I didn't really do anything wrong. But we have seen, obviously, there has been problems. But yeah, like, honestly, Reece isn't really an issue at the moment because of the fact of like he's staying fit and, excuse me, his ability to play in midfield as well. Like, I don't really think there's an issue. Like,
Are we doing Reece slander? I'm not saying so.
Well, let me
I-
incorporate this next segment real quick because I might as well talk about it. New Gusto contract apparently is in the talks. So Chelsea are in discussions to extend Malo Gusto's contract with salary increase due to his increased playing time, performances, and the trust of the staff. The Blues want to give Gusto a big extension potentially until 2032, according to RMC Sport. We also have here from Fabrice Hawkins, breaking. Chelsea want to extend and increase Malo Gusto's contract, who already has a contract until 2030, so extending it 2 more years. Discussions are ongoing between all parties. And we have here that according to Gazzetta dello Sport, Juventus have identified Chelsea's Malo Gusto as an option for a January transfer window. Dude, if he goes to Italy, he would kill it. I'm not going to lie. The thing is...
What, in Italy?
Yeah, I think he would kill it.
Oh yeah, he would kill it. I'm sorry, he's already dealt with the physicality of the Premier League. He'll be fine. I'm sorry. I've seen so many players, AK McTominay to Lukaku, and even Loftus-Cheek ball out since they can handle the physicality in the Premier League. They can handle in Italy.
Are we done with the Reece stuff?
We can bring in Reece into
Yeah, you can
this.
talk about Reece.
I agree with Peter, by the way, on a side note.
Well, the thing is, let me ask this to the panel. Do you think there's a possibility that we could ever get the Malo Gusto under Pochettino's season back?
No.
With this, not with this current manager. No.
What? Sorry, what? What? Marshall?
Do you think there's ever a possibility that the Malo Gusto under Mauricio Pochettino would ever come back?
Not with this current
I could say
manager,
yes defensively. Yeah, I can see that. He's showing performances better defensively this season than he had last season. I can say that, right? Club World Cup is one. You could say it yesterday. He's like last season there was nothing. Last season was a barren wasteland of.
Let me ask Chat
shite,
too.
right?
No,
Like,
no. In terms of, well, no, not in terms. We're talking about offensively.
brother,
I
he wasn't
think
even great
all
offensively.
around.
Let's be honest. He got like 4 assists. He's never been great, at least for us crossing wise percentage. I've never seen him as
Yeah, no, but I mean in terms of
anything
like
amazing.
what he offers teams offensively out wide. No, we won't be able to see that at Chelsea consistently because of the way Maresca deploys
Yeah.
his fullback.
And also
So
because of
that's
the amount
what
of instructions he has to take on, we already know that he's not really able to take a lot of instructions on.
True. I would like to see him. I said this when Maresca came. I thought he would play as a winger, like a touchline winger, rather than playing as a inverted fullback. I think it's
This
better.
is kind of where I stand with it.
But
I wouldn't give him an extension, but I would give him time.
I rate Gusto.
At least
But
the
again,
end of the
the way
season. Yeah.
the way we play, it doesn't suit him. There's no point keeping players that don't fit how we play. So, and that is why another thing I talk about squad building. Why do we have players that don't suit? Like, what is the plan? Because if we sack Maresca and get another, or this links that we have to Iraola doesn't make sense. Because even if you want to sack Maresca,
true.
does Iraola, all of it, what we bring in Iraola, then Gusto looks like one of the best fullbacks again. Like, that doesn't make sense. Why are we doing that?
I think he's taking time to adapt to this system.
I think Gusto's adapted as much as he can now.
I'm saying he's at times getting slightly better game by game recently for the past at least 2 to 3 games.
CP. Do you remember the first half of last season when I said he needs to adapt and that I wasn't on his neck last year?
Yeah.
It's been over a year now. I don't think he can get much better at the role.
I think I can because see, here's the thing with Reece James, even in his youth setup had experience playing in the midfield. Even when he was going up the ranks and was loaned out, he had the play time in midfield. So when he had the transition to Maresca's system, it was way easier of a transition, right? Compared to a guy who's been more of a bombing up traditional right back.
I know, but but so what though? There's not much more. Do you think Gusto can get any better in the offensive phase for us? No. I don't really
no, but he's never been great offensively either, in my opinion.
I know, but at least under Poch, he played to his strengths as a touchline fullback.
Okay.
Here, I don't think he can get more. And it's not me hating on Gusto. You guys know I actually rate the guy, but it doesn't. How we're playing doesn't suit him. So it's not fair keeping a player and then 1 week he's good, the next week he's terrible, and then we're just blaming him. It doesn't suit him, so let him go. It's fine.
I
would agree. And the thing is, and my thing is as well is like, you've already got in house a right back who is more. I wasn't even thinking Achimpong, but sure.
Oh, never mind.
You have a right back who is more comfortable doing the stuff you want your right back to be doing in the system, is better going forward than he is pretty good defensively as well, and that's Doué. Bro, I watched Doué the game against Strasbourg, the game against Lyon that they lost. He was one of their best players. He was incredible.
Are you saying we bring in Doué?
You took a left turn for me there. I didn't expect you to say that.
Are you saying we bring in Doué? Okay, I hear that. I like it.
Keep him in house. Keep him in house and raise his value, because I think Milan wanted him, and I can't remember what they offered, but they were in.
I think it was like 12 million or something.
Yeah, I remember there was
they wanted like 25.
Right?
And they wanted like 25 or 30. Bro, that's basically what we paid for Gusto.
Gusto's French. If we were to sell Gusto, right, he should go to Strasbourg.
Yeah, I'm calm with that.
Go to Strasbourg and let us get Doué, because he's French. That makes more sense than selling him to Juve. And he'd be willing to do that too, honestly.
The performance I saw from Doué against Lyon is better than anything I've seen from. Is better than actually not anything, because he has had a few. It's better than most of what I've seen from Gusto since Maresca's come in.
So the Italian club reportedly saw several offers rejected as their evaluation was significantly lower than Strasbourg asking price, with one report starting the club wanted over $30 million. So I want to say £20 million, give or take.
So like that 25 though.
23, I think 23 million. Yeah.
Cool. So that's basically what we paid for Gusto. That's not even that bad for a backup right back. So yeah, like going back to the thing though, there's literally no reason to extend his contract. He's not untouchable. He's probably, I would make the argument he's in the like top 3 or top 5 players based on the form to not renew their contract currently. But there's no reason to. He has to prove so far that he has the ability to play in this team on a consistent basis. Because the fact that I don't even know. The fact that I said earlier about Gusto yesterday is the fact that he was actually good. That's not a good thing in a sense of me saying he actually had a good game for once. Obviously, it's good that he had a good game. That should be the norm. That shouldn't be an outlier.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like. What was your question, Prime? By the way, what did you say?
How long does he have left on his contract?
2030.
He has 5 years. 2030.
So we'd be extending it by 2 years.
You don't need a new contract.
It's not necessary.
You don't need a contract.
I think they're just doing it for a pay rise more than anything else.
Yeah, but you don't need a pay rise. Shit.
You just got a pay rise from the Club World Cup, bro. You don't need a pay rise.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what I think the.
Well, has he spent the bread already?
Probably not on a lot.
Because I think he's on 50. I think he's on 50K. They'll probably bump it up to 70 or some shit.
Yeah, fuck that.
Damn. We're pocket watching here on
You know what?
Yeah, he's on.
No, we do got a pocket watch because we do care about the wage stuff here. So
Jesus, he's on less than Mark Hugh. He's on 45K a week.
Oh, bro, okay. If it's 60K, I might be fine with it. No joke. I'm not gonna lie.
No, 60K puts him on. Whoa. 60K means he's 60K means he has the same as Robert Sanchez and Esteval. No. Like you can take 50 and like it.
I'll be real.
Needs a raise.
Exactly. I'll be real, Gusto. You can get a raise once you score a goal, bro.
Yeah, actually, that's
what Prime. No, Prime. Please don't put that into the universe. You know how many more shots he's gonna take? He's been not doing that stupidity for the past 2 games. Prime.
I just want to point something out.
Take that back, please. I can't have him doing a Ronaldo chop on a breakaway again.
All right.
To a
Stevie,
shot.
how about
Please,
this? How about this? Gusto, you can get a pay rise if you get a shot on target.
No.
By the way,
I just don't want him to take shots. Do assists, okay? Do assists. I don't want shots. Just fucking
assist.
Get 5
Can I just, by the way,
all right. Double-digit assist. Double-digit assist.
JC's
Yeah,
comment,
thank
by the
you,
way,
please,
for
please.
someone who rates Gusto as highly as JC does, this is not a glowing review of Gusto, by the way.
What did
If you're
say?
telling me
Yeah.
he's as good as he is in terms of as he's gonna be,
Oh.
get rid now, bro. That's
No, but Scott, that's my point. Like, doing this job, I don't think he's going to get better doing this under Maresca. I honestly, I don't, because he's not going to wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden be like a Reece James in a half space or something. He's not going to. What kind of annoys me a little bit is the jobs Gusto gets to do for the forward. Reece doesn't get to do that consistently. I would like to see Reece do that a little bit more. However, I understand his legs, whatever. I just think Gusto, it's been a good ride, bro. Pause. But you gotta go.
Hey,
Go Strasbourg. Yeah, go Strasbourg.
What do you mean by
yeah,
that?
go Strasbourg, goes AC Milan or something. Like, just
man.
leave.
Listen, you're French. Go Strasbourg. Go do the. You know.
my god.
Go hang out with the man
Don't
them,
do
bro,
Strasbourg.
in France.
Don't do
Just
that.
leave.
These French. Do Lyon. You want Champions League. There you go. We'll give you Lyon, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And Ahmed, I still blame you for ruining
Lyon's
Gusto as
right
well.
back.
By the way, I still blame you, Ahmed. Still blame you.
I don't even know what's happening right now, mate.
Ever since you became Gusto Nation, he couldn't do anything.
Well, listen, I don't know why.
You weren't
what's
Gusto Nation in his
happening.
first season.
I don't know what's
We had
happening right now.
We
I
said
just came
Gusto's
in.
name 3 times and you showed up. That's why I started laughing.
Unfortunately,
It's like Beetlejuice. Eh? It's like Beetlejuice.
And, you know, listen. And what I am gonna say,
if we say Cucurella,
what I
three
am
times,
gonna
I'm
say,
leave.
what I'm gonna say, quite simply, is just that with Gusto, he's definitely declined, and we can argue about whether or not
Wait,
a manager.
you think he's declined?
yeah, he's definitely
Yes,
declined.
yes, he definitely declined.
Like,
I
as a
don't-
player, or is the system not benefiting him? That's because when you say decline, I'm thinking like Aspie decline. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think
I don't think
like,
the player's bad now.
No, I don't. I just think for me, I just don't think he suits this way we play. I think
I
it just
agree.
comes down to that, bro.
To an extent.
I think for me, if he was playing right back right now and his job was really just to be like a proper fullback, I think
Sure.
right now he'd probably be like a 7 out of 10 in our team, right? In terms of he'd probably be very good for us defensively. Going forward, he probably would still need to improve, particularly in his crossing department, right? But other than that, I don't really.
So you wouldn't give him the contract extension?
Listen, man. Bridge Nation, he's here to help out young brothers. You know what I mean? I'm willing to give young brothers a contract deal. You know what I mean? And I think the difference, particularly with Gusto, is that I think he'll be able to sell Gusto. Gusto is highly rated everywhere. He's even still highly rated right now. I know some of our fans may not like him, but I generally think we would always be able to sell Gusto for at least double what we.
That was Peter, dude. That's so spot on, man. Fuck.
Wait. Who put Washington in the poll? What?
I did.
Forgot about that.
I was asking you guys in chat if you think he's washed. Because I still think there's a good player there. He's just not been benefiting from the system. And even then, like,
Maybe it's
I kind
Martin's
of
fault,
see.
Marshall. Maybe
I
it's
kind of
Martin's
see
the one thing I
where,
will say-
Maybe
real
it's
quick,
Martin's-
before you go, Scott. Like, and I think maybe Scott might be alluding to this. I think I agree with CP. Like, last season versus this season, there's been an improvement. Is it good enough? Is it anywhere near what he did in Pochettino's season? No.
No. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. It's not
That was
even
what I was
lasted
gonna
this
say.
season. It's
Oh,
not
go
even
ahead,
lasted
Scott,
this
sorry.
season. He was improving since the Club World Cup, but it's still not good enough.
Yeah.
Especially if right, you're going to be starting, because
Yeah.
it looks, at least if you go off, it looks like whether it's just this season or it's in big games, Reece is going to be doing this midfield stuff. So if that's the case, that means our starting right back needs to be of a better quality than you, Gusto, because you can't
Yes.
be inverted.
He did have. You could give him PSG, right? He did lock up whoever he had.
No,
from
I know he
Paradona.
did. And he did have like I said, I think he had a good Club World Cup. Most people disagree. But regardless, it's still not, your improvements are still not good enough.
Maybe Pete.
Because remember,
by the way-
we said at the end of last season that you had a good year, you had a
This
bad
is true,
year.
Pete.
This needs to be the deciding. So far,
Yeah.
it's up and down. Your performances this year are up and down so far this season.
Fair, yeah.
Or are you
Also,
gonna
What
say?
I would say. What I would say.
Wait, let's Scott go
Okay.
because
One
he
thing in
was waiting.
defense
Let's
of
go.
Charlton, the one thing I will say in defense of Gusto,
See these guys, man, always want to hate on players. Tell them man to shut up, to hate on players. You know what I mean?
Hey,
How can we
no,
improve
apart
as
from-
a squad?
if you
How
let
can
me
we
finish
improve
instead of
as
just
a squad?
opening your mouth again,
You fraud, Scott.
Martin,
Go ahead.
Ahmed, if you'd let me talk instead of talking, what you'd have heard me say is, in defense of Gusto, I don't think he's washed because you can't be washed at his age. Like,
Thank you.
Sure.
like that's just
He's
not
not washed.
possible. Like, you can't be
He's
washed
stagnated,
at
but he's not
22.
washed. He's not
Yeah,
washed,
100% he's stagnated, and he probably has got a bit worse as a footballer. But that's probably, like, as I said, it's down to like the team and everything.
Who watches Strasbourg here on a consistent basis?
Me.
I watched one game.
Probably
I
me,
watched
Ahmed,
I've
not
seen
gonna
2
lie.
games.
Okay,
One was
I
quite
wasn't able to
Now,
watch the full one.
let me say this.
I
Let me
wasn't
say
able to watch
this.
the full one though, yeah.
Under Rosenier, where do you think Gusto would be playing?
where Doué's playing.
Well, where do
You think he'd be playing? You think he'd be playing right center back in the 3?
No, he plays right wing back.
Who'd be one of the wing backs in the team?
Yeah, I could see that.
So he'd be but then that's not doing what we want then.
No, but that's the whole point. That's the whole point I made, Prime, right? My whole point is that I actually feel like the system is hurting him because I actually don't think...
I know that I agree. Maresca is not using him where Gusto could be the most effective. However, even at that, like he's not starting ahead of Estevao on the right or potentially even Neto on the right. So he still shouldn't be here.
I'm not saying that he should be playing right wing, mate. I'm saying he should be playing right back. That's my whole point. Realistically, he should be playing right back and doing right back jobs.
But we don't play that way.
I know, but that's the point I'm trying to make. I think this is the catch-22 you have with Gusto, right? Where you need him to play in the style of play that we play right now. But I do not think that style of play suits the player right now either, right? And he's not gelling or embedding into that system either. So that is the problem that we've got right now. Does that make sense? It's particularly the player.
Yeah, no, I know the problem that we have. That's why I'm saying, regardless of how much he improves, he can't get any better at doing this role.
Yeah,
No, there's no denying that. There's no denying that. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, you know what I find to be kind of funny? I won't be surprised. So let's just say, let's entertain this hypothetical, right? Where we get Doué and Malo Gusto goes to Strasbourg. I wouldn't be surprised if he gives Malo Gusto, Rosenier gives Malo Gusto the role of doing what Barco does essentially, which is like invert.
No, he can't do that.
No,
right?
he can't do that.
And chip and help.
The bottom of Gusto is not technically good enough to do what
I know.
Barco does.
We all know he's not, but
At least Barco, there is a level of technical he has.
Marshall,
yeah,
that's what annoys me because Rosenier would make it a lot more simpler for Gusto, and we probably get a bit of a better Gusto.
I mean, he's playing Chilwell, and Chilwell's not looking like horrible, but he's playing him. He's using
Hey, but
him.
listen, all I'm saying.
But that's why I look at Maresca and I think,
that's why I look at Maresca.
and anyway, before I was interrupted, so I look at Maresca and think, playing him in the role you want him to play, it's not going to work. So either you change the role for him, which I don't think you can do because we're not going to play like how we played against PSG all the time tactically. So you got to go.
Sure.
EPL tough. I don't understand your emotional attachment to Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, Peter, I agree with that as well. We
shots
can't
fired.
accommodate.
Okay,
We shouldn't accommodate for him either. So he can go. I'm cool with him going, and I'm like someone who actually rates him. But
I'll be honest, man. I don't rate our current system, and I will still stand by that to this day. That's my opinion, mate.
Which system did you rate under Chelsea?
I don't know.
You rate how we played under Poch, but it's fine.
No, because the thing with Ahmed is I need to get down to the core because you call Maresca a terrorist and Tuchel and all this and that, and then I asked.
They are terrorism.
But you know what I did, guys? I asked chat. You know what I did? I asked Ahmed, what manager do you rate from Chelsea? Oh, I rate them all. No, they're all good. I love Chelsea.
No, on a serious note, I always listen. I always
so who do you want?
Barring, listen. Okay, so like.
Bro, on a serious note, can you be serious?
Thomas Frank is not one guy right now.
Ahmed, can you even spell serious?
Yeah.
This guy.
So we're just doing this gimmick now. But one thing I will make.
We're the ones who have gimmicks, not you. We have.
No, I'm actually talking about.
Okay. Answer, Ahmed. I want to hear this.
I've always personally been a big fan of the style of play of my boy Allegri. I feel like that has always been my style of play. Terrorism at its finest. You know what I mean? That is pure terrorism.
Wait,
and I
hold
can accept
on.
that as
Hold
terrorism.
on. So
That's
why
the
do you
fact-
not like? Wait, but Tuchel's a terrorist.
Fuck this.
But the problem. Listen, no. Tuchel's terrorism is not pure enough because he then does this thing of like not even using terrorism to improve the attack.
So do you just want
know what I
dice
mean?
ball? Is that what you want?
You know
Pure,
that is.
pure terrorism is what he wants.
No. Wait, Ahmed, hold up.
Wait,
Which
so
Allegri?
you want
Are you
pure
talking about 2025 Allegri, or are you talking about like AC Milan 2013 Allegri? Are you talking about like first?
Oh yeah,
Juventus
that's true actually.
Like which Allegri are we talking
Juve
about?
Allegri. Juve's the first.
Like second
Premier
season.
League.
Second season. Oh fuck no, that is pure terrorism.
Ahmed,
Nah.
not even that. Because Juve Allegri was like almost a decade ago. Anyways.
No.
Ahmed.
He's talking about second stint. No, brother, you got your times wrong. He's talking about second stint Juve Allegri, which is more recent. This man
Yeah.
basically
the
wants
second
dice
stint,
ball.
okay.
What are you doing? To
Okay.
just go.
If you want, Ahmed, if you want a terrorist, which fair enough, why not go for like Conte just won the league or Inzaghi? Why is Allegri? Why are you going for the bro? Allegri
You
doesn't
respect.
You
even-
confuse
bro.
me, bro.
Allegri's not even a terrorist anymore. He doesn't do that anymore.
He summoned.
But
people.
He's reformed.
Yeah,
He's
he's
reformed.
reformed, bro.
Listen, he's
Bro,
reformed.
he's
But listen,
reformed, bro.
but the thing
He's
is,
a reformed terrorist.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Ahmed,
Wait, but listen, I'll be honest with you.
Peter, please join. Peter, please join.
Wait,
Peter,
no,
please
bro.
get
Hey,
your presses out.
please, man, please,
Listen,
bro.
Peter, please get your presses out. Please, Peter.
Allegri right now is an informant right now, bro. He's an
Yeah,
informant.
listen, but I like this informant Allegri too. I think informant Allegri knows when to turn the terrorism.
I mean,
though.
he's turning it around for AC Milan. I gotta give him that.
You know what I
right?
mean? I watched this 1-0 today, against what's it called, thingy. What a baller! What a legend!
Hey,
What a
hey,
game plan! That
Hey,
is
Peter,
my
Peter.
manager.
Allegri
Yeah,
is
yeah,
crazy. I'm not gonna
respectfully.
lie.
Ahmed's had a
Thank you,
lot of
Peter.
opinions on our last 4 head coaches, and he's had a lot of opinions on tactics, most of them being negative. I'm going to put it straight to the man of football now. You have all these critiques for systems that have achieved varying levels of success for this club and have allowed you to celebrate trophies and accomplishments. But what would you prefer? No. That's a useless question. What would you do with the tools at the current manager's disposal differently?
Peter, that's also a useless question. He wouldn't do anything.
No, let him. No.
I'm
talking to
Ahmed.
Ahmed. I'm talking to Ahmed. I want to know. Because it's all easy talking, complaining
No, that's fair
about.
enough. No. I've always felt like if we're gonna do anything right now, I think some level of like a 4-3-3 would probably be the best thing right now, in my personal opinion, to play. Obviously, the back four kind of sorts itself out. Reece James, Correa, obviously Fofana and a champion probably would be my ideal one. Even though I understand him playing Chalobah, that's not really much my issue. Sanchez in goal. I would really play a 3-man midfield of this, like, Lavia probably in the 6, and then Caicedo and Enzo, in my personal opinion. I think obviously Enzo is coming. Lavia is coming back into form. He's not been that injured actually for the last 3 weeks, or is it 4 weeks? 3 to 4 weeks. So, big up to him. I think from an attacking standpoint, obviously if you have our players, keyword have our players, I would probably then say not Reece James. Cole Palmer, sorry, on the right wing, left wing. Fucking hell, no. Actually, you put, Cole Palmer on the right.
You've offered a solution. You've offered a solution that's impossible because the guy on the right wing's not currently fit.
I said I don't know. Actually, when healthy.
Right now.
I said when healthy. When I said when healthy.
No. I don't care what you would do in an ideal world. I'm asking what you would do right now because you.
Right now, then it would probably be
Esteval.
Esteval.
About system and build up, and I just want to
so
know.
Then I would say probably Esteval, João Pedro in the 9, and then obviously on the left wing, quite simply, it would just probably be Pedro Neto as of right now. Although I would hear Gittins obviously playing on the left, obviously prior to shooting the ball over the top.
Okay, so what are the complaints you have about the system and the way these players are currently being utilized? What would you say are your 2 biggest issues?
I think one of my main 2 issues. I think at times the movement of play that we have sometimes is way too slow. Right, the way we move the ball at times can be very slow. Right, and that does not help us at all. Particularly, there's times where we should be really realistically countering. Right, and then it seems that we slow the play down. And I'm like, come on, man, we shouldn't need to be doing that. The system should allow us to have times of where countering is like quite easily being able to be done. I think my second issue also is that I feel like there's some players there where we can clearly see I don't think they completely fit the system. We're literally just talking about Gusto right now.
Which players?
Right? We're literally just talking about Gusto right now.
Okay, you said players plural. Which other players?
Yeah, I'm getting to them, mate. Bloody hell! You don't need to rush me, mate. Okay? If I'm trying to...
No. I don't care what you have to say about Gusto. I was in the chat for the conversation. You're rehashing a conversation that was just had. I was there.
Obviously, I think okay, fair. Gusto is a good example of that. I actually think another great example of that right now, unironically, is I think Garnacho. I'm not gonna lie to you, and the reason why I say that is because I feel like Garnacho is probably much better as the inside forward than he is as a touchline. That might be, for example, right? That's another one I could give you.
You guys see what just happened, right? You guys see what just happened.
Holy fuck.
You see what just happened. His two biggest complaints for people that don't fit the system are people that are not in his ideal 11 if he was the manager right now and everybody was available. Those are his two biggest complaints, right? Mind you, Gusto's only being used like this because Lavia's not up to full fitness and Cole Palmer's not fit. The reason you're seeing these funny midfield threes and we're having to compensate with ball winning ability and blunting the attack purposely is because otherwise we just don't have the legs, right? Like, people have complaints about tempo and speed and all this stuff. Never mind the obvious issues playing a flat 4-3-3 with Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo would present counter-attacking wise, especially if one of your wingers is Cole Palmer and your 9 is João Pedro, who doesn't seem to run beyond defenders to begin with. In Ahmed's hypothetical, like, we would still have most of these problems. Like, it sounds good, like those sound like solutions, but like those don't actually address the problems that we face. But fair enough, man. I hear it. I don't know. We'd look different. What do I suggest we do differently?
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
With what we have currently, I don't disagree with what most of the coaches currently doing. I'm not fed up with this. I think we have a major quality issue at center back, which is fucking obvious. Yes, they played well yesterday, but that was the worst attacking team we're probably going to see in any competition this season. So, like, I don't draw much from that. As far as scoring more goals, to be honest, yesterday, for the first time in a while, we seemed to create a decent bunch of chances. But at the end of the day, you can lead a horse to water, but they got to drink the fucking water. I'm not that upset over a perceived lack of creativity without your best player and your number 10. Like, that's kind of going to happen.
Well,
like, I'm not actually that mad about what I'm seeing. I'm not disillusioned by it either. I don't get why people are so mad. I really don't.
Can I ask the panel a question, though, in regards to, because one thing Ahmed did bring up that I was like, okay, that's valid, is the counterattacks, right? Because there are times when we do see ourselves in a position of counterattacking, and you have Neto who will slow down the play, or sometimes the pass is too slow, or will hold up. Like, I don't know. Do you put that down to the coach, or is that the individual player quality?
No, I put that down to the quality of players.
Obvious player quality issue.
Marshall, we saw that yesterday. There was a counterattack where Enzo, I think, fed it to Garnacho, and then this idiot had the touch of a donkey and then fucking ruined that counterattack.
Yeah.
We don't even. We can even go back
I think
to
that's
last
unfair
week.
to put that in Maresca then.
Remember
No,
last
that's what I'm
week.
putting out on Enzo. I'm putting on Garnacho, player quality.
Remember last week when we were stretching the game against Sunderland for no reason and throwing bodies forward and trying to put urgency, and we got stung on the break with 4 minutes left because of the player quality issue at center back and them having to defend a bunch of space. If you're going to risk the bodies in attack and be reckless with relatively low IQ players and low quality players, you're going to open yourself up to situations more like that. I can't look at this team, look at the deficiencies, and get mad that the head coach is erring on the side of playing slower and being deliberate to try and reduce the game and cut out mistakes. Like, I don't know how fans can look at that knowing who we have in our team and decide that this is bad, other than it just feels boring and feels bad, so we should be doing something fun. That's what I feel like a lot of complaints come down to watching Chelsea currently.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, like I said, it's just player quality at the end of the day, because we have players who are meant to be able to counter attack. That was literally Pedro Neto's thing.
Yeah,
that's his whole bag. His whole bag is being able to play on the break. And yesterday, the few chances he had, we got absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some of these guys just stink. Like that's kind of all it is.
It's uncomfortable to acknowledge a lot of our guys. If it were up to me, Gittins, Garnacho probably wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be starting Pedro Neto right wing.
No.
Delap got suspended, but like, let's be honest, there's no guarantee he finished any of those chances anyways. We're seeing Gusto in midfield because Palmer's ultimately not fit, which is what a lot of our quality on the break stems from Cole Palmer anyways. So not having him there is a miss. I'm not really upset at the way he uses Reece and Cucurella. It would be nice to have Reece. It'd be nice to have Reece bombing up and down the pitch, but his body doesn't seem to be made for that, and I would rather have him fit for 50 games than missing 20 and only playing 30. But yeah, it seems weird when our teenage winger is probably the best one quality-wise we have available immediately. Like, that's an obvious recruitment problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't. I'm not mad.
Can I be again? Let me just read the super chat before you respond to Ahmed. Professor the King, thank you for the $1.99 super chat. Standard is solo. What the fuck is that guy talking? I don't know what you're referring to. You're gonna
That's fine. You guys can moan about standards all you want. These are the players that the coach has available.
Yeah.
If you guys are going to complain about the standards, look at the recruitment. Like, that's obviously the issue here.
Blame Winshret, man. Blame Winshret. I could do better than Winshret, bro. In the market, finding younger talent. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, mate. You know
probably could. You actually probably could. That's
I
the worst
recommend so many good players. I recommend so many good players.
I'll be real. I disagree. I don't think you would.
Here we go.
No,
you personally know you wouldn't. You personally know. You know why?
I literally recommended two left wingers that were under 20 that they could have brought for good money.
Ahmed.
That's all I'm saying.
Because first of all, we would still have Gusto playing in this half space. And second of all, our left winger would be our.
I actually don't care if Gusto plays. I've said this before. A Bridge Nation is bad for the players.
I will say
that's fine. Our left winger would be Barcola. So
no.
Fofana.
If they are not willing to pay.
Wait, guys, I gotta defend Ahmed here. Wait. Before this whole thing, Barcola thing. After Barcola, the second winger he did name, who balled out in the Champions League final, has been balling out, is Desiree Doué. I know we call him out and I call him a fraud, but you said, when Stanley
Doué plays on the right, by the way, but yeah.
Also,
brother, he can literally play both wings. He's a left winger predominantly. He was playing for left wing in Rennes. So I with that regards to that, Ahmed was spot on. So we could say Barcola and all that stuff, but he also got like Doué, who's 19 and balling out.
Also, like Ahmed could recommend his nan, and I would still say it's a better option than having Garnacho. Like, one of our sporting directors literally was us by the worst. We have the worst winger in the league currently in our squad. Ahmed can't do worse than that. He physically can't do worse than that.
The problem, I think, you know, my issue is, I know obviously I mentioned some like tactical differences that I think I would personally like. I think part of the problem whenever we talk about these players is that it's like a double-edged sword, I'm going to say right now. Yes, some of these guys aren't good enough right now. Some of these guys probably need time. Some of these guys need development, right? But the thing there was actually a good thing, like a journalist that I listened to recently was saying, which is like, can you realistically do that thing of developing these guys in an environment where you've got Champions League football and in the Premier League where you're trying to
develop and compete?
Right? That's the whole point, right? So can you realistically do that? And for me, I'm not sure we can necessarily do that with that many players. I would say with that many players. That's what I would say.
I think there's validity to that. It scares me a little because
I disagree. EPL, I think Santos was good. I think this season, I think my problem also with Santos
again
is the
game last game EPL turf.
I really just think it's about. I just think it's
not,
about
but
again.
it's not a Premier League game, man. You guys know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
I know what he means. Yeah.
Santos hasn't looked like how we thought he would in any of these Premier League fixtures so far.
I don't think any of us really.
I think with him it's a bit more of a fit.
No, but so if so Marshall, if we're going to collectively moan at Gusto in midfield, fine, no problem. What are our solutions? Bearing in mind Palmer's not fit, Lavia can't play full 90s and can't play 3 games in a week yet, and Enzo and Caicedo are already playing. What are our solutions?
I don't disagree with that solution, by the way.
He chooses not to.
I just think you have to find. I think another.
We're
thing
essentially
that
choosing between Santos and Gusto, right?
Yes,
yeah, I think Maresca needs to slowly try to incorporate or get Santos up to speed. But until then, like if Gusto keeps having these good performances or okay performances, I don't mind it either. Like as long as we win the game.
I don't even think it's performance related. It's until Palmer's fit. This is what it is, guys.
That's also that too. Yeah, Palmer being
like it's genuinely the moment.
That's a big one.
Yeah, Asugo's injured. We were choosing between Gusto and Gusto's not better at midfield than Santos. In these Premier League games, what has Santos given us? A terrible back pass so Chalobah could get sent off. Some shin kicking at Old Trafford when we lost anyways. That's great. But like, what have we really gotten from Andre Santos in the Prem?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I just think for me, the idea
of Santos in midfield is awesome. The idea is dope, and
will you not say that? Will you not say it's a fit? Will you not say it's a fit issue though? Like, well, because like when what Gusto does, for example, for us.
No, it is an issue. Like you're picking, you're picking your poison either way. Like you have obvious limitations with Gusto. Like we have a guy running into the box with no career goals. So like, what are you doing up there, buddy? Have some self-awareness. But like Santos is a completely new league, completely new environment for him, and he's a young kid. Like this is a short-term solution we need to find because injuries and fitness for other players. And this is what the coaches opted for experience of somebody he's worked with, which is a completely normal reaction considering you're at Chelsea where he's going to be under pressure if he doesn't win 2 games in a row, which we've seen already this season. He's opting for Gusto, who he's worked with, as opposed to Santos, who he's new to working with. That's not unreasonable.
The thing for me is, and this is like a point that I think me and Marshall debated this season, which is that the manager clearly he was doing this, I think, to a large extent last season, and I think he's done it at times this season where essentially he already chooses vast majority of the time the guys that he either trusts or the guys that he basically believes in, right?
100%. And the guys that he's worked with. That's why Chalobah's fine.
Yeah. And that for me can both be a blessing, because obviously in our environment probably is to a good extent a blessing, but it can also be a curse, right? Because sometimes some of these guys, bro, aren't good enough. Chalobah is a great example of this. Hudson sometimes when he has to bring him on, it's a great example of this. Gusto at times, whether we like to, even me, the Gusto lover will tell you this. There's been times when
but Ahmed, here's the thing: like if we had an option, the current skill of a Josh at center back, for example, I wouldn't be mindlessly advocating for experience to play. Like our options are an Andre Santos, who's new to this league, a Sugo who can't walk, and Lavia who can't play full 90s and is clearly being built up. So it's not like we have many options. If I see Gusto in midfield and Cole Palmer right wing, I'm going to lose my shit. At that point, there's no point for this. This is clearly a short-term thing.
Because for me, I would like to hope so, obviously, and like that. I just think there's this thing of like we are trying to develop these guys, right, to play in the team. So there's also this thing of like, how do we then embed them? Is it just playing against some of these lower Carabags or something like that we probably face? Or
Yes.
But again, those are only 3 to 4 games, bro.
No, there's more than that.
So when the UCL, for example, that's pretty much, I think the max currently in terms of like the weaker sides we're gonna face is probably what 3 to 4.
They're also gonna play versus Atalanta
and Ajax.
They're gonna have substitution minutes too. Like
they're gonna get some minutes here and there. Like,
are they though? Because like look at the way I'll gap with the substitutions at times.
Because we have to.
Yeah.
Yes, because we have to.
There have been games where these bench players have come on 60 minutes, 65 minutes. Like Santos, let's not pretend Santos hasn't played. He's only had starts.
Did Santos play yesterday?
He didn't play yesterday, but
how many minutes did he have? How many minutes did he have in the game before?
Did
Against
Santos not
Ajax?
play 90 against?
No, sorry. Okay, let me rephrase that. In the league game before, how many minutes did he have?
I think he came out as a sub, right? Against
70. He had 7. Sorry. So to answer the question, he had 7.
Okay.
Like there are certain players I can 100% agree with that with, like Gittins. Well, Gittins kind of, Esteval definitely. Santos seems to be the one player that doesn't get like the proper minutes, and when he does, he's thrown in a midfield of Lavia and Gusto as the 10 and asked to just like do something, I guess, mate.
But I think also part of it's also like give it time, because very much like what Pete's alluding to, right? Like this manager leans towards the players he's already familiar with. He knows how they're going to react on the pitch. He knows, like, you know, it's players he can trust. He has his favorites, like we mentioned previously. And right now, Malo Gusto, while Palmer's gone, Malo Gusto is in being shoehorned in. I don't think. Listen, one thing to get clear: Pete is not saying Malo Gusto's a better midfielder than Santos. That's ridiculous. But what he's saying right now, in terms of a solution, Maresca thinks he's a better solution right now in the midfield.
Hey, you need to find solutions for the next 3 games. So this is why this is happening.
I think things haven't gone according to plan. They never do, and that's why the manager gets paid what he gets paid, right? Like, I think Isugo being down put a little bit of a dent in towards like, okay, I want to use Santos in this position, like maybe more towards like how he used Santos against Wolves, but because I don't have that DM that can give Caicedo or whatever minutes to rest, I have to use you in more of a deep lying or more.
No, see, that sounds like that's what I said, because you struggle to comprehend, brother. That's it. Reading comprehension's not everybody's thing. That's completely fine. It's okay.
But who's to take Sugar's going to play too? I actually want to make that point too.
That wasn't necessarily my thing, but we're acting like Santos can't play that deeper role when last season he was playing in a 2-man midfield where he had to do both. This idea that for Santos to play, he needs to have Isugo in there as well. Like, so are we saying Isugo?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he's being well. Okay, go ahead. Finish what you're saying.
Like this idea that Isugo is needed for Santos to then get more minutes, I find kind of weird. Considering Isugo is some 18-year-old kid in his second or 9th or whatever he is in his second.
I wouldn't even agree with that notion. I would push back against that too, Scott.
Yeah, I think what I was more alluding to is that I think in the games that we've seen Santos play, I don't think it's been in a position that favors what he wants to do. Like what we saw against Strasbourg, where he's more of a box-to-box 8-to-8. I think in the games that we've seen, like the one that comes to mind right now is United, for example. I think he was asked to be more of a 6 than a box-to-box 8. And that was a shitty situation for him where he had to play with one less person on the pitch. I also do think in due time he will have his role. He will be used more often in the system. I just think it's.
He probably will. He's going to have to. Yeah. And this is I have an issue. This is probably one of the only issues I have with Maresca in terms of the trust thing, because we're about to hit the busiest period of the year.
Yeah,
I need you to start playing and trusting some of these guys so they can play proper minutes. Because otherwise, we're going to get to December and having to play a game every 3 days, and you're going to see more performances from these depth players like you did against Nottingham Forest, where they kind of suck because they haven't played proper minutes together.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that's
would my point have been better if I said listening comprehension? Like, would you feel better? Like, look, I'm sorry.
He got triggered earlier when I roasted him. Anyway,
I'm sorry, your IQ starts with an 8, brother. We can't all be blessed. It's all good.
He's a sensitive little butterfly. It's all good.
Nah, the world needs shady 80s though. So good for you, brother.
Did you say your
world needs some shady 80s?
Did you say your IQ? Hold on, Peter? Did you say your IQ starts with an H?
An 8.
An 8.
An 8. Oh, that's mad.
Yeah.
Hey,
so I just wanted to add to the point. I think it's a mixture of both with regards to, for Santos, with regards to trust. And I can kind of see the Isugo point. The reason why I'm saying this is because when we had Lavia
as a lone pivot. We said this I think 2 games ago. We're like, he didn't look good, but then whenever he's partnered with Caicedo, we're like, oh my god, it's the Lavia that we're always dreaming about. Oh
Oh,
my god, it's the god tier Lavia, right? So maybe Lavia needs to be. He's always gonna first of all choose Lavia over Santos because Man City, right, and the trust thing in that sense. And then it seems like Lavia needs a proper destroyer beside him to look his best.
I disagree with that because the game you're referring to was the game when he had Gusto next to him, who was literally shit. Like he was having to do the role.
Santos's treatment from the manager stems from the mistake against Brighton, like in the short term.
Yeah,
probably.
I'll be honest, yes.
I also
like
think
did the same thing with Achimpong. I remember that last season when
I was just saying. I think a lot of it is what you said in terms of trust. Like, there's a reason why. Like Lavia came into this team, and yes, I understand he'd play in the Prem, but he's had when he started playing for us in terms of under Maresca, he'd had the same amount of football or even less because he missed a whole year than Santos has had, but he had the trust of Maresca because he's used him before. Like it was the same. Honestly, with Tosin it's a bit different. Obviously he's played longer, but similar thing of like he's allowed to come straight in and whatnot because he trusts him. I think that's what it is. It's just a trust thing, and it's just a similar thing with like even Josh now. The fact that Josh was our best centre back up until the game yesterday and then got dropped for like no reason, literally no reason, is because of a trust thing. It's the same reason Esteval, even though as good as he's been, he's not getting starting minutes in the Prem because of trust.
I don't know, man. You put him in a big spot. You gave him his Premier League start against Brighton. That mistake happened. Obviously, that game went that way. It's kind of unfair on Santos because he didn't do anything particularly worse than a lot of other guys in our team have not done this season. It's just when you're in those crucial positions and you can't make things happen, or like you make that mistake, you're going to be held accountable for it. Like Josh makes 1 or 2 mistakes, you don't see him for months. But Neto and Garnacho get to commit criminal acts every 10 minutes on the pitch.
Oh, don't, man.
Yeah, I think for me, the thing for me is always going to be. I think the thing for me is always going to be like we are good. We are somewhat of a youth model right now, right? I know there's some guys that like half the squad. Essentially, these guys. Listen, I'm just trying to trying to be a bit more right on the right side of things. But the point I'm trying to make here is just simply, these guys are gonna have to play. They're gonna make mistakes. I think some level of leniency is probably gonna be needed, right? If you want these guys to improve, you can't just you can't shut guys out for quite a while. And then I'm gonna throw you back in here, do something for me. Does that make sense? That doesn't work all the time. All these young players either. So there has to be some level of like a happy medium that has to be found.
It's hard to find a happy medium when you don't have the low stakes nature of Conference League.
100%, I agree.
I also want to just comment on one thing. I think Tayo A said about Santos is better than Enzo. He hasn't been for Chelsea. You can't say that. I'm sick of this I'm sick of this scapegoating of Enzo Fernandez, and I'm not his biggest fan or biggest hater. But man has the second most GNA or tied for the most GNA in our team, and he's a midfielder with Caicedo, by the way. Right?
You've just not seen Santos do anything for Chelsea that's
thank
better
you.
Than what
That's what
Enzo
I'm saying. And you could say he did amazing for Strasbourg. Fair enough. You know what? You know who also did amazing things for other clubs? Shevchenko he won a Ballon d'Or from AC Milan. What did he do for us? We call them shit. We had Torres join from Liverpool. We literally had Torres from Liverpool, who we were like, oh my god, we paid 50 million, we can't win. And then we remember him for the goal he scored against Benfica and also the goal against Barcelona, and that's all he did basically for us. So what are we doing?
I think as well that my thing with the Santos thing is like he probably can become a more complete player than Enzo. I don't think that's like at this point, considering what we see of Enzo on a week-to-week basis, I don't really think that's a hot take, to be honest. But yeah, he's not there right now because part of it is like he just doesn't get the game time to show whether he's that level, but also what's it called? But also because like when he has played, he hasn't looked amazing, but that's also because it's going to take time for him to get comfortable playing with everyone else.
Yeah, and I think that's honestly probably going to be like the biggest caveat with all of this is that.
One second, I just have to interrupt because a fraud in the chat typed some bullshit. So let me correct myself.
Wait,
he scored it against Benfica in a final. You fraud.
Oh, okay.
Who?
God, this freaking guy. This.
No, someone said a goal against
shameless. This man is
Benfica, a memorable goal against Benfica.
No,
I think
guys.
we know what we're talking about.
Guys, whether or not you want to say Enzo's been mid for his entire life, everywhere he's been, it doesn't matter. You're comparing mid to what Santos has done in a really small sample at Chelsea.
Yep.
Like, yes, he scored a goal midweek against Wolves, who rotated almost their entire team. Congrats. Thank you for the Carabao Cup round 4 goal. I do appreciate it. But in the Premier League, we've not gotten anything to suggest that's currently the case. I would think that would be the case eventually. I have faith that Santos can find some momentum and be a major contributor. I believe in him. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying until Palmer's fit in 3 weeks or so, we need to find a solution. And I'm just rationalizing the solution the manager has chosen.
Can I ask another?
Can I address a comment?
I'm so sorry.
Scott,
it's one point. It's a 1 point I wanted to actually make about Cole Palmer. Now he's got I think his injury is a possibly recurrent injury, right? This groin injury. I think
I might as well do this while you're
right.
doing that on.
So
there you go.
I'm just gonna make another point here, which is that there is gonna be probably another 1 or 2 times where this guy may most likely be out if he re-aggravates this groin injury again. Right? I'm just being honest. So it's like this might be what we're seeing right now without Palmer could be happening again, or again maybe in the middle to the end of the season if he gets hurt again. So the point I'm trying to make is that we need to also accept there's going to be parts of the season where there will be no Palmer if these groin injury re-aggravates again. So
I want to address someone in the chat. Gemex. Do you think that our squad is currently capable of winning a Premier League title? If the answer is no, why the fuck would you sack the manager?
Someone said we're going to finish second in the league, though.
The reason why they want to sack Maresca is because they don't like him. So everything that's bad about Chelsea automatically has to be his fault. People don't like Maresca, that's why. So people aren't willing to be rational.
No, that's like
weird.
The thing is.
And it's weird because I remember when Tuchel was doing weird stuff, we still defended him because it's Tuchel.
No, the thing is like.
I don't know. When I say weird stuff, I'm not even saying like stuff he was saying was bad, but some stuff that like going to the Bernabeu and playing Ruben Loftus-Cheek at wing back. We didn't complain about it because we understood why he
cooked
did
that
it.
game.
We didn't have other. No, but Marshall, I don't care.
Still.
Marshall, I don't care if he cooked or not. He went to the Bernabeu with Ruben at wingback. But the only reason he did that is because we didn't have other options. We understood why it was happening. But for some reason,
even when he played Pulisic and Cho, back.
Ahmed, shut up. For some reason, people can't use their brains and understand. For some reason, people can't understand why, like, we have to use players like Gusto in midfield because we don't have other options. The other options are Santos, who's not adapted. Lavia can't stay fit, and Palmer's injured. Like, use your brain. Go ahead, Ahmed. Speaking of brain.
No, I was actually just gonna back your point until you told me to shut up. I was literally giving you an example of like, remember when
I didn't need to defend, but I can defend 1v1, bro. I didn't need your help.
Well, we say that, but you know, you're moving a bit like Gusto these days, so we just need to.
Damn.
That's your Ahmed. How'd you snake your own guy to Discprime?
I'm not snaking, man.
That's crazy.
Remember,
That's so loyalty, man. No loyalty.
the one thing.
Disrespectful.
One thing I always say is quite simply, I am badge over players first. It doesn't matter if the player does good for me, I'm happy for him. If he doesn't do good for me, I don't matter. For me, it's about always the club is first.
You don't matter.
I believe that fully, and I stand by that point. I always say that, by the way. So listen, if my favorite is not playing well and he needs to move on, don't worry, man. We'll watch you in Serie A. You'll cook there. That's for sure.
You think it's possible to win the league with this group of players?
Yeah,
nowhere near possible.
Wait,
hey,
what?
listen,
Hey,
Marshall,
no, you're
Not with these center backs.
JC,
What? How good do you think these players are?
JC is more delusional than Marshall. Then
that's insane.
I mean,
Yo, if we get 70,
and JC,
if we get 75 points with these guys,
JC, are you Maresca out?
No, he's not Maresca. He's Maresca in.
No, but he has to be Maresca out because we're not winning the league title with this squad and this manager currently.
yeah, with our current gameplay, I don't know if
Wait,
that's
you
possible.
don't think? Wait. You don't think? I mean,
No, Marshall. With this current squad, with no additions to it, and this manager as he is currently right now, we're not winning.
The
the league
manager's
title.
what I'm focused on.
Yes,
You don't
that's
think
but
Maresca can win the league?
not with this.
team.
No, Marshall.
No.
Do I have to explain this? Hold on. Do I
I'm
have to
sorry.
explain
In
this
isolation, I'm
slowly?
sorry, because the way you worded it, I don't think this team with this manager can win the league. I think you said
As
it
it's
like that.
yes, as it's currently compiled. I asked the
Yes.
question:
Okay.
Is this current squad good enough to win the league? And JC said
No.
yes. So that's what I
No.
said. If it is good enough, we're not winning the league title this season, which means that's the manager's fault. If this team is good enough to win the league title, in terms of
In
the actual team.
isolation, do you think Maresca is a manager capable of winning a league title?
I mean, if
Yeah.
Arsenal's done it, then he can do it.
Yeah.
I think he
that's true.
can if he's given the tools. But the problem is, Marshall, it's been impossible to judge whether he can or not his entire time of being here,
Okay.
because he's been given scrubs like Garnacho and Neto and Tosin and
Sure.
You're not gonna say Chalobah or
that.
Sanchez, all right? So.
Chalobah, Sanchez. Like Chalobah
No.
already
Here's
here.
the thing. You
Chalobah's
guys can
already
say
here.
Chalobah or Sanchez, but both those guys has contributed to us winning major stuff, whether you like that or not.
This is true.
But also,
Names
and
like
also as well,
Garnacho,
like
what have they
Yeah,
done?
Yeah, but listen, we can argue
Peter,
that's true.
Peter,
Because
Peter, with all due respect, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
That's fine, but that's the truth.
Peter's
the truth.
right. Peter's right. But
We've
we can
gotten a
also,
return on some of these guys.
No,
We've
he's
not
right.
gotten a return
You're
on
right.
these
Peter
guys.
is
You're
right
I
on
just
that.
You're right. I just don't want to hear it, but you're right.
That's fine, but that's the reality. We've not gotten anything from guys like Garnacho.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I just
I don't want respectfully, whether you rate Chalobah or not, it's not fair to put him in the same sentence for Chelsea Football Club and Impact as Garnacho. It's not fair.
That's true.
It's not just.
That
Yeah.
is true.
No.
Like I said, that
what I
means
was saying
that
was-
means
no,
if you think
Scott
this team is good enough,
Scott was
then you're
talking about the
manager
Scott
out.
was talking about trash players. I'm listing them too as the trash players with everyone else.
TP,
No.
what were you gonna say?
The thing is,
CP wanted to add something. Let's see if he adds something.
No, I was just gonna say I think I've had an epiphany, and I think Ahmed is right about what Conte did to this club. Because after Conte, I'll tell you why. Because after Conte, we got sorry, and this club started acting like Tottenham Hotspurs with this. Oh, I like this play style. I like the way this manager plays. Oh my God, I don't like the way this manager plays, but I like the game style of this manager. I thought our whole ethos was winning. I don't give a shit if we, like Arsenal, freaking score 500 set pieces and win the trophy.
Yeah.
I just care about winning. This nonsense since we've had since Sarri's come into this club about.
Ahmed, mute your background.
it's not me.
That was
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
My bad, that was me.
That's
I
all
was
good.
going to say real quickly, like, I kind of both agree and disagree with what you're saying, CP. I think the problem when Sarri came into this team, I think style of play was not a thing that was known at Chelsea Football Club. If we're being honest, even
Exactly.
Conte
Yeah,
to an
by the way,
extent,
this comment is
even Conte to an extent, right? We didn't know what style of play meant, right?
Yep, exactly.
But at the same time, I don't think that was the problem. I think the problem became that they weren't. I think our club was never used to our projects either. Because Sarri, no matter what, Sarri in his current form was always gonna be a project. He was gonna be like a guy that's probably gonna take a little bit of time. He needs to bring in players. He needs to develop the system and get a Columbus league. You actually had to spend a few years of him if you wanted him to build maybe a medium term winning thing. And that was never Chelsea's DNA, right? Because our main DNA has always been winning in the short term, fuck the long term, essentially, right? We'll think about the long term when we get there. And when we get to long term, we splash the cash then.
Remember we tried. Sarri's not the first project Chelsea tried.
I know, it's Villas Boas was the other one.
Yeah, remember we tried that with AVB. His job was to transition the squad, and older players stopped playing because they didn't like that we were getting rid of Anelka and all them lot, and they got him sacked.
Yeah. And this is the thing, like, I think for me, listen, as someone that's been to the stadium a few times this season, right? Listen, Marshall, what are you trying to say?
Why are we? Why are we counting Colwell? Why are we counting Colwell in the squad as available players?
No. This I wanted to address that comment. Do you know how stupid that comment is for two reasons? Number one, like, you can say I think when all are available. Most of them aren't available because they're always fucking injured. Number one.
Yeah. The first three names. One
forget forget Colwell.
Two
Like
chronic,
even if Colwell
two
was
chronic
fit, because
injuries, 3
like
currently injured,
I was gonna say,
And
if
also, well,
4
hang on.
19 years
you,
old.
if you take this, like I said, even if Colwell's fit, 2 of those guys can't stay fit on a regular basis, so that doesn't matter anyway. Even if Colwell was fit.
Big up here.
Number 2, even when those guys play, Tosin has sucked this entire season. Acheampong isn't trusted by the manager to play any lengthy period of time.
we should have sold Toast in the summer.
Chalobah has been. Yesterday was Chalobah's second good game all season.
What was his first?
What was it called?
Don't agree.
The Sunderland game up until Tosin came on.
No, I was gonna say
Ryan Robbery.
against Fulham, I thought Chalobah was fine.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Badiashile has been.
Nobody
Just
remembers
kind of-
that game, but yeah.
Badiashile's had one good game in like 12 years. And Fofana yesterday was the first
Yeah.
really good game.
Baddy
he's
Shield
had.
just injury prone, bro.
like
He's just
4
in
years.
the IL. Baddy Shield just in the IL the whole season.
Bro,
Yeah,
Fofana is somehow more available now than Badiashile, which is worrying.
last year, no, but I don't know if you're on stream, Peter, but I think last summer or this summer, I was making the point. Baddy Shield basically been out for a good, like I think it was like 40% of the season last season. This is not like a new thing, like him being.
No, I
injured.
know.
Yeah, so
It's just nobody really cares because deep
Yeah.
down we don't expect anything from him.
exactly.
Yep.
So like
You
the one
legit
thing about
was really, yeah.
a thing that works against Fofana is we saw him fit for 15 games, and we saw a partnership developing with him and Colwell, and then he was just gone. So like everybody remembers him playing. Thing is, Badiashile's gone so much, and even when he's fit, most of the time he doesn't play. So nobody cares when he's not there.
Yep.
Also,
One thing I
the
will
other
say-
people, also the backups of Fofana aren't good enough. That's why people still worry about him. The thing with Badiashile is Colwell, even if Badiashile was fit, Colwell still starts ahead of him.
Yeah, so
And-
Colwell's fit, he's playing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
JC, can we be realistic here too? Tell me what Premier League winning side won it with no injuries.
We have an availability issue and we have a quality issue, even with everybody fit.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Past the first 2, if you could promise me Colwell and Fofana play every single Premier League minute, I think we then might have a chance, provided Sanchez was incredible for an entire season. We might have a chance to challenge.
I
We
agree.
might have a chance. That ignores. I'm willing to ignore our 90 million worth of left wingers who don't really do anything, and the fact that our best winger is a teenager. I'm willing to
Yeah.
ignore those.
I would
Wait,
even take it a
hold
step
on,
further.
Marshall,
This is
hold on,
not
Marshall.
repeat saying. Go ahead.
Sorry, Marshall. Peter, does that also ignore Lavia, whether he's fit or not?
Yes,
Thank you, bro.
I'm willing to assume that
Yeah.
the guy
No.
missed 4 months.
There's just
After
Colwell
missing
and Fofana
4
means
months.
we may be okay, and this is a title-winning squad.
No, listen. This is where I will disagree with Pete a little bit. Even though I agree with what he's saying there, I would even go as far as to say that that's enough to win the league. But this is not real. They're not going to stay fit the whole season. There will come parts of the season where they fall out with injury for a few weeks, and then we're going to have to depend on our squad depth.
Of course.
That's also
Of
not
course.
mentioning
My point is
rotation.
this: we don't have enough. Like
Yeah.
we have question marks in more places than we have definitive long-term answers.
If let's say if you replace and sorry Scott, let's say you replace Chalobah and Tosin, or no, I wouldn't even do that. Let's say you replace Tosin and Badiashile with players of the quality of Fofana and Colwell, we'd be golden right now. We wouldn't have this problem. We wouldn't be
As
complaining
of
too much.
right now, we believe we have a relatively long-term left back solution. We believe we have a relatively long-term right back solution. We believe Caicedo will stay for a long period of time. Opinions are kind of split about Enzo, which is fair.
Sure.
We all have faith in Palmer. Nobody has faith in the left wingers.
Yeah.
Nobody likes watching Neto, but we think Esteval is sweet, so we have one there. So we have 5 positions sorted, 6 if you want to stretch it and include Enzo long term, which I don't think would be a consensus. And then we either have quality issues or fitness and availability issues. Sanchez, who people can tolerate, but nobody's like convinced. Again, we're counting Quenda, who's never played a minute for this club.
I was about to say,
also plays in the same position that the other teenager plays, Esteval. So maybe we have 3 right wingers on our books that are better than the 2 left wingers, which is a problem.
But again, so our hopes of winning a league title are on a 19-year-old kid.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's just
that's what our league challenge.
Like, no one's convinced. No one's convinced we have a league-winning type of striker on the books. Nobody can say they're convinced, right? So we have 5 positions. Maybe Quenda coming in. One of those 5 is Esteval Willian, who's a teenager. I don't feel great. I'm not gonna lie.
The thing is, though, like to go with Scott's point, it was saying, right? Like, if Quenda does come into this team and he's as good as Esteval, maybe better, then cool. I don't mind relying on that youngster to take us to that challenge or the promised land. That's fine. The thing is, my problem is when fans are automatically assuming this kid's gonna come in and fit like a glove. Like, let's just be honest.
We had our doubts.
Barring CP, and same thing with Santos. Yeah, exactly, Pete. Barring what CP is saying, like, barring CP, I think all of us had our doubts about whether Esteval was going to come in and immediately hit the ground running.
Don't let me in with you guys. Don't do it.
You thought he was going to hit the ground running as soon as he came here?
Oh, I thought he was better than what we had on the books. Yes, I will say that.
Before he played for Chelsea.
Yes, because what we had on the books was Garnacho and Neto, and it was going to be a Jamie Gittins.
I just had a thought as well.
And Madueke.
This idea, by the way, this idea that we are close to challenge, we got the squad to challenge. Cool. So you look at the teams that are challenging or have the ability to challenge. There are 3. Obviously, Liverpool is a bit of a mess. I'm going to take them out of it. Don't really know what's going on with them, what they're going to do, whatever. We don't currently have a attacker anywhere close to Haaland's level of productivity, threat, fear factor. None of that. We just don't. Palmer is close. He is still, in terms of productivity, like we saw it last season.
Not as good, yeah.
It's not on the same wavelength. It's not in the same strategy. Haaland is an animal. So there's that. But they're also a bit.
Yeah, but Scott, even in a down season for Palmer, his GA was still mad.
Again, he's not in the same stratosphere as Haaland. He's not. It's Haaland. He's just not.
Okay, you can say Haaland had a down season last season.
Hold on. No, I assume you mean world-class player.
No, I'm talking about.
We're talking about like output of attacking players.
in terms of like you need output.
This isn't a quality. This is not really a quality discussion.
It is kind of, but also we just.
No, my bad.
I'll be honest. We saw last season though, but also if you want to talk quality, Cole wasn't always effective. He went last season having large portions of just being anonymous, especially second half of the season. So
it's fine. Cool. No, it's fine. I'm interrupting too much. It's fine. You can. I want to know what you're actually.
And the other thing I was going to say, and this is the more important thing. This is a point we made earlier. Arsenal's defense is miles clear of ours. Like, it's not even close on a quality thing. They have a better goalkeeper. I don't give a shit what anyone says. They have a better goalkeeper than us. Their centre-backs are clear of any centre-back we have. I like Colwell, and I think Fofana is very good. But Gabriel and Saliba are clear of both of them.
I still don't believe on Gabriel.
Well, you're forgetting about Mike Penders,
and Timber is second best in the league, and Calafiori is currently second best in the league in his position. So, like... So it's not happening.
Like, I do think
until we get defenders, or until we can find a structure that is of that level defensively, not happening, mate. Or unless our attackers actually want to score goals, not happening.
But here's the thing: like, you could make the argument, right? For the sake, devil's advocate time, for the sake of an argument, you could make the argument that Man City, they could challenge for the league. Why? Because they have a really, really great attack in the form of Erling Haaland, right? They have that X factor in the attack. Arsenal, you can make the argument if they lean into their defense, which is their strongest suit, they could potentially win the league because they have games where they just don't even concede shots on target. You can make that argument. Liverpool, you have someone in the attack like Mo Salah. In terms of like a team last season, when you looked at it, it was overall really well balanced team. Really, really solid midfield, solid defender with an X factor there like Virgil, and in the attack being carried, in my opinion, heavily by Mo Salah, right? That's the X factor there. For Chelsea, you can make the argument that if we lean into our midfield, maybe something can happen there because at our best,
Don't think that's
people
possible.
do make the argument that our midfield is the best in the world.
I don't think that's possible. Like, that's not a. You can't think of a title-winning team in this country that had the best midfield, but didn't have like a top 3 attack or defense and won a league title.
Outside of Leicester, which was a complete fluke.
Yeah, it was an anomaly.
I'm gonna pull up the table because I don't even know if that's true.
Well, actually, okay.
Like,
We have scored the most goals in the league, though.
Hang on. When you say, Peter, can I ask a
We're
question? Let me
tied, I think,
rephrase
yeah.
it. When you talk about like top 3 defense and whatnot, are you saying
I'm talking
quality
like goals
wise?
scored, goals conceded.
No, okay, but are you talking quality wise, or are you just talking?
No. I'm talking just purely what we see
Oh,
on
okay, fair enough.
pieces
Then,
of
yeah,
paper.
because I was going to say, yeah,
I'm talking
were
goals
up there that
scored, goals
season.
conceded. So
Yeah,
Leicester.
they were up there that season because like their structure that
I
season
have
was
the table.
insane.
I have the table right in front of me, Scott. Because like I hear it, people forget how poor, quality-wise, the 2015-16 Premier League was.
Yep.
Leicester were the 3rd highest scorers and kept the joint second most. They had the joint second least goals conceded, and they were the 3rd highest goal scorers. So they were top 3 in both, funnily enough. And I would still say the midfield was the backbone of their team. So
Yeah,
yes,
fair.
was it a fluke? Yes, but also like if you look at what happened on like I've never seen a midfield carry a mid team to like a relatively mid team, like not outstanding team in terms of goals conceded or goals scored, to a title. You either have to shoot it out or you have to let in like
And also
30 or less.
because even if you want to use the midfield thing, you'd need output for your midfield in terms of goals.
Yeah.
Like
you need to
and-
decide
I
the
mean,
matches.
to be fair,
it's
Caicedo and Enzo are our top scorers right now.
yes, but Marshall,
GNA,
Caicedo's highest ever goal scoring season, I think actually might be this season already in his entire career. I will need to check that.
Ahmed.
Enzo Fernandez got 9 last season in all comps.
Marshall,
Goals.
why are you?
And that was
It's
considered
the season, by the way.
that was
Mark-
considered productivity wise a very good season for Enzo. He got
Yeah.
9 in all
Marshall,
comps.
why are you praising Caicedo and Enzo being our top goal scorers? I remember under Tuchel, people were making fun of Jorginho for being our top goal
I'm
scorer.
not praising that. I'm just saying in terms of like what Scott was saying, you would need goals from the midfield. Like again, the argument was
We have the joint
that-
second best attack currently and the joint 7th best defense. So it appears our only route to being in the challenging discussion are blowing teams away, which sounds funny when you like square that with people complaining about style and boring and a lot. Like if you just look at it on paper, we are not really struggling to score goals in as much
Exactly.
as I would like to be keeping more clean sheets.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, what I was alluding to explain it to Prime, it was more so that it seems like these Premier League winning sides that we've seen in the last 5 years lean into their strengths because none of the teams that have won, maybe barring Liverpool last season, and even then that's up for discussion. I don't think from attack to defense were perfect. They've had their deficiencies. But they were able to mask it with their strengths. And I'm thinking in Chelsea's case right now, in our current form, our biggest strength, and I would say our biggest strength for the last 2 seasons, 3
not the
seasons,
defense.
have been that midfield.
It's not the defense.
Wait, so
Not
Marshall,
the
did you
defense,
say
for sure.
the title-winning teams have deficiencies, but they've mastered with their strengths? That's what you said, yeah?
Yeah.
Our last 2 title-winning teams, what were their deficiencies?
Our last 2 title-winning teams, so the last title-winning team being
I would
Conte's
say
team?
a creative burden
Jose.
being shouldered by one person.
Okay.
I would say
Probably.
that. But like we also
I can't really answer
in
that
those
'cause
two
I haven't really
seasons,
watched.
we had in 16-17 we were second best for goals conceded. And I think in 14-15 we were also second best.
Yeah, he was ahead
No,
of us.
no, in 14-15 we were the best.
In
Funnily enough,
16-17, it was Spurs ahead of
14-15
us.
we were the best, and Southampton were second. Oh man. Pochettino's Southampton had the second best defensive record in the league once upon a time. That's very funny.
That
That's very funny and sounds made up, but that did
Peter,
happen.
That
it's
sound
not.
real.
You know, it's not funny because what 14-15 was Southampton, right?
Yeah, no, they had a good team. I know
Virgil
it's
van
really
And also 16-17, that was Spurs, wasn't it? The best.
Yeah.
Poch.
But yeah,
By the way,
I would say so. Liverpool last season, they scored 14 goals more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So there's your title.
I was going to
You
say,
can
also,
score in
I
the
had a look. Sorry to interrupt, Peter. Just because EPL Turf put a comment and I made one look. This whole we're like the third joint, second joint, whatever it is.
It's not off by much, yeah.
I was going to say, so you're right. We're joint with a Liverpool team who I think most can agree their attack is a complete mess, and an Arsenal team whose attack contains Gabriel Martinelli and whose star striker has got 4 goals in like 10 league games.
That's true.
Yeah.
We are also one goal ahead of Tottenham, Bournemouth, Manchester United, and Brighton.
Are 1 goal behind us. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm not
it
exactly
is-
going to start shouting about our attack from the rooftop currently.
I would like to see a little bit of a bigger sample size because
Yeah, I
you
agree.
do have a lot of teams who scored between like 14 and 20. That's a majority of the league, I would say.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I mean, just on early evidence, if there was one way to compete, it's not going to be by grinding out 1-0s. I can tell you that.
No, because you can only do that for so long, and on top of it, our defense is not reliable.
I actually I think that's exactly how you win league titles, and
I don't think you can do that with our group. Let me say that.
No, Peter. That's the point I was going to make. That's how you
Yeah.
win league titles is by grinding out 1 and 2-0 wins. We will not do that this season. It's physically impossible. We've already seen that. We are 10 games in. We can't do that. Couldn't do it last season with Colwell. We can't do it without
we
him.
did it last season with Colwell towards the end.
At the back end of the season, we did. But for a
Like
large portion of the season, that did not
Same
happen.
way that none of us took the last 5 games of Pochettino's run and went, that's what we were going to look like the whole season. That's Poch. I'm not going to take a 7-game stretch to end the season and go,
Also,
we were really grinding out results. That's how it's going to be the whole
when
time.
They did that last year without expecting. It wasn't expected. Because remember that people saw the back end of the season run on paper and said a lot of people said we weren't making top 4. So they did that without the expectation. Can they now do that with expectation? No.
Because
when the expectation was to jump to challenge, even though we didn't make the signings we wanted, fine. We still had the expectation as fans that we can at least go and push and challenge. And these guys just haven't lived up to it.
We conceded on the back end of last season. I'm going to count the goals we conceded. We conceded 7 goals in our last 9. We scored in those 9 fixtures 11.
Can you do me a solid since you're there? Because I was going to make the argument with Scott that I think the defensive solidity actually started in January, but the goals weren't there. Because this is around the time when Jackson fell with an injury. Guiu also fell with an injury.
It's funny because January we had 0 clean sheets.
But
we
the
didn't
amount
have
of goals conceded were like.
No, I understand. We didn't actually have a clean sheet in 2025 till February 25th when we played Southampton at home.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and then after that, we had a clean sheet against Leicester. We lost against Arsenal. Everybody was mad. And then we had the international break. We beat Spurs, drew 0-0 against Brentford, had that hilarious 2-2 against Ipswich. 1-2-1 at Fulham. Don't know how we did that. We absolutely robbed the grave that day.
That was
don't know how we
last minute goal.
That was Tyreek George and Neto of all people. Then we beat Everton 1-0.
Yeah, that game kept That game kept our top 4 hopes alive with Fulham.
Beat Everton 1-0. Then we won 3-1 against Liverpool. We lost 2-0 against Newcastle when we played at like 4 a.m. my time, and Jackson got the red. And then we had the 2-1-0s to end the season.
Yeah, we weren't like wide open defensively.
No, so the last, if you want to say the last 11 fixtures or last 12 fixtures, we only conceded 10. But in those last 12 fixtures, we only scored like 16.
I was gonna say, by the way, this grinding out results thing.
Yeah.
Because when Peter was reading off, then we didn't even grind out results. By the way, in that stretch, like if you go and look at it, like okay, we beat Tottenham 1-0. You can maybe say that. If I'm just going from like this is mid-March, so that Arsenal loss obviously, the win Tottenham 1-0. We then 0-0, 2-2. 2-1 where we didn't grind anything. We scored in terms of defensively. We scored in the last minute. A 1-0 win to Everton, cool. 3-1 win. That's not grinding out anything. We battered Liverpool. We lost to Newcastle. Okay, and then 2 1-0 wins to end the season. So we didn't even properly like have a stretch where we were grinding out results. The biggest stretch we had.
We were just grabbing results.
Yeah, we were just grabbing. We didn't grind out defensively outside of those last 2 games. On a regular basis.
I think if you just look at that end period for us, we had that big game against Fulham. I think since then, really, I think that has allowed the team to have a bit more confidence and believe they could just do the job.
Bro, because what it was. That day against Fulham, when we were 1-0 down, I was like, yo, like, this is over, our Champions League hopes, low key.
Yeah.
It was over, bro. I can't let that.
Bro, like, if George didn't score that, I maintain, if George didn't turn and hit that, and that ripped the net, I don't think we come back and win that game. Like, I think I don't even think Maresca's our manager currently if that doesn't happen. Like, I know
also,
we made
Marshall,
it.
What was
we won the Club World Cup.
Defensive thing?
I feel like if you look at how many goals we conceded in the first half of the season versus the second half, I think we shored up a lot more. And we were losing games by a goal.
I don't actually know if this.
I think Ipswich was 2 goals. There was a few.
I'm gonna look this up. I don't know if this is true.
7, 8, 9,
I'm not gonna lie.
10, 13, 14, 15.
I'm not like 16, calling you a liar. I just don't know if the number
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 22 we conceded in the second half of last season. Remember that number.
So we in the first half we conceded. I'm counting it, Scott. So the Premier League, I have my laptop open. You can sort the table by match week.
We conceded 1 more goal in the second half of last season than we did in the first half.
Okay, so it was in my head. Never mind then.
So again, having Colwell in this team actually makes no fucking difference. So going back to the comment that started this conversation, you're actually just smoking. You're just delusional, like straight up. If you think having everyone, which we did outside of Fofana, who I'm sorry, Fofana doesn't make that big of a difference. We saw last season.
Yeah, because people also need to realize
the defense was arse.
Even if we have a fully fit squad, the teams around us are, Arsenal, Liverpool, City. Yes, fine. Liverpool are underperforming right now, but they improved on their deficiencies. City went and got one of the best, the best goalkeeper available. City got. Arsenal have a deeper squad. What deficiency did we actually improve on to say we can jump up to challenge? Nothing.
It's if you're not moving, if you're standing still, you're moving backwards.
Yeah, and even Liverpool, fine, their attack is not working right now, but they improved their attack. Because we all said that in the summer, they improved their attack. So at least they tried to address it. We didn't address it.
If you look at City's team, nothing is really different besides Cherky got implemented and they got Donnarumma in goal instead of whatever the hell they had last season.
Edison or Ortega.
I know Trafford only got like 2 games or whatever he got, but that was, they have Reinders too, so like you could say the squad is better. And like, sure, I would agree with that. But the main addition there is the guy in goal.
Can't wait to be back here for a 3rd year or 4th year, and JC to be literally the exact same. But when Anselmino and Sarr if fit, I'm fine next year. Great.
I think for me,
but they're not going to be fit, JC. You know that.
No, but even
That's
if
the
they're fit, but Marshall, let them be fit. It doesn't make a fucking
like this
bit of
isn't
difference.
this isn't EAFC where like you simulate a
I
week
still
and your
think
player
like
comes back
I
from
just
injury. Like
the glass ceiling on our team is like 75 points ish. I
Mhm.
don't see how this fully fit team,
Which would
currently
put us
constructed, gets
second
way above that.
last year.
Which would
Yes.
then I then ask people, because what Peter, you said the team is 75 points ish, right?
Yeah, I would say that's the max this group, as currently constructed, can achieve, and that's with some really good luck.
Okay. And is there anything else Maresca can get more than 75 points?
With the current group,
yeah,
I don't think it's possible, man. I don't
could a better manager get more than that?
With this group?
Yeah.
No, because I'm already putting in a lot of...
Because everyone keeps saying sack Maresca, so that's why I'm trying to make the argument.
I'll say this. Prime, I'll put it to you. Like, if the strength of our team was our center backs and our goalkeeper, and we had attackers all as poor as like Pulisic and Havertz and Ziyech, where we were just kind of impotent, but we were very solid up the spine like we were 4 years ago under Tuchel. If that was how our team was structured, I would have more faith that a better manager could push that group higher, just purely off percentage football, putting balls in the box, balls bouncing our way, getting a little lucky. I don't actually view the spine of our team with the current people fit outside of Caicedo as some sort of cornerstone strength to build our football team on currently. Like, our best players are our fullbacks and Caicedo. I don't think it's a good mix to try and push further up the table than 75 points. I just don't see it. I can't see it.
I think, to answer your question, I think you could with a better manager, but the level of manager it would have to be is unobtainable with these owners. Like, you're asking for the literal best of the best, which will never happen under this ownership group.
Best of the best, and you hand them Alaba
and the funny thing is, Scott, right? The managers who people say to replace Maresca are not the best of the best. People
that's what I'm saying.
About
so
the Iraolas and the De Zerbis who are still going to be in the same mess.
Yep.
I think for me, fundamentally, like, regardless of Maresca or management, like, you always have a level of ceiling with just the transfers, bro. The transfers that we provide, with the type of players we're bringing in, the age-wise, the profile-wise, even experience-wise, you're always gonna be struggling, bro.
100%. We're never winning a league title with the winger core outside of Esteban we currently have. We're never winning a league title without winning winger.
Generally, I would make an argument that generally, like, we have a glass ceiling on us right now. Like,
we do. Peter said it as well. He's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like, the winger core we have is shit.
Yeah.
Like, the core of centre backs we have is mostly average. Outside of Fofana, when he can stay fit, and Colwell, who is currently injured for the whole season. Anchopong, I think, can get there, but needs game time to actually get to that point.
It's not going to happen.
Badiashile, I think the jury's out and should probably leave because he can't stay fit. The other two kind of just suck. Well, one's obviously better than the other, but they're both not good enough. The two guys we have out on loan currently, one can't stay fit. The other one, I think the jury's out still as well, because Strasbourg have been okay defensively, but I won't say they've been excellent. And so that's currently our centre back core.
Our centre back core, even if you just wanted to ignore Badiashile, everybody on loan, and Tosin and Disasi, right? If you wanted to simplify it to Josh, Fofana, and Colwell. Josh, big talent, still a teenager, right? Colwell and Fofana, major sustainability questions.
Yep.
Major questions. The odds of Colwell 100%. Hitting the ground running like he was the end of last season Colwell, straight off an ACL, are slim to none. Because, like Scott pointed out, we haven't seen center backs do that in the game in recent memory. Yeah. Van Dijk, when he came back from his ACL, took a season to really get his feet under him. And then, like, you could say... You could even say
Rodri right now.
Even he doesn't really play the same way he did pre-ACL. He's not as aggressive.
Yeah.
We just have we have massive question marks in positions where you don't want to have question marks. Like, it sounds insane, but I would gladly Thanos snap Reece James and Kukurea out of existence for like a Saliba Gabriel center back partnership and a striker that could score goals. I would gladly rather have that than have this awesome fullback pairing that I think is sick and I enjoy watching. It's like, yes, they're great, but at the end of the day, they're fullbacks.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think that's that much of a hot take, really.
Because Marshall,
Go ahead.
I think you see with Arsenal this season in terms of where they're at. Obviously, it's early, but they can afford to have their striker kind of underwhelmed so far.
Some of you guys are too tribal in the chat, man. That's crazy.
And they can.
I don't think you guys understand what I said.
And they can afford to have a left winger of either Trossard or Martinelli, who are kind of both shit. And they can afford to be missing Saka and playing Noni Madueke in some games because they have a back line of, like I mentioned, the second best right back in the league, the second best left back in the league, who was shit last season, by the way, but the best centre backs in the league. And it's not even close.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like
even their goalkeeper, by the way, their goalkeeper probably is the best goalkeeper in the league. He's having a downer season so far in terms of like compared to last season. It doesn't fucking matter. They're still 8 points. Oh, sorry, not 6 points clear.
When you have the head and shoulders best center back pairing in this league, you get a lot of margin for error at the top end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Those of you too young to have watched Carvalho and John Terry in the 2000s, those of you too young, I feel for you because you didn't get to watch. So you can't really conceptualize what I'm talking about. And the first time you guys are seeing this unfold is unfortunately with our rivals. But 20 years ago, we did the same shit, guys. Conceded I think it was 61 goals across 3 league seasons with that center back pairing. For context, under Poch, I think we conceded 63 or some shit.
Yep.
In one season.
And just remember, guys, we
conceded 61 across 3 seasons with an elite center back pairing. That can change your life as a football club.
I have to address this because I want to make sure Pete doesn't get miscued here. Not that he's getting miscued. I think when he says I'd sacrifice our fullbacks for a better core center back pairing and a striker.
No, that's not what I said.
By the way, sorry, Pete, before you go, to highlight Pete's point more or to give more credence to it, both of their current fullbacks, by the way, were guys who started as centre-backs in their career, who spent most of their career prior to joining their current club at centre-back.
Guys, I would sacrifice our fullback pairing to have the head and shoulders best centre-back pairing in this league. And
I agree.
If you disagree, I don't think you really want to be successful.
I think a lot of it has to do people attach a lot of sentimentality to Reece.
No,
fuck that, guys.
Forget that.
Do you know?
Let's just say,
do you guys know?
Yeah.
Okay, to make it simpler, make John Terry and Carvalho 25 years old again. I would Thanos snap Reece and Kukurea for them back.
Right now.
Yeah,
100%.
That's a better way to put it. I think
It is
that
not even a
definitely gets
debate, and I just can't even have that
I don't disagree
conversation
with
with you
that.
guys if you think otherwise. Nuts.
I don't know what maybe it's since COVID our whole brain's been fucked up. Guys, we have won leagues with the best center back pairing or top 3 every time we've won a league is because of this. Okay, we won back-to-back leagues and conceded the least amount of goals in 16 in a season with William Gallas. We didn't have Ashley Cole then. We've never had a world-class right back until Reece James. We'd have top-class ones like Ivanovic and Azpilicueta, but not world-class. So I'd rather I agree with what Peter's saying. I would in a heartbeat.
Guys,
trying to compare. I just have to just quickly comment. Trying to compare Shaw and whoever the fuck they played to Saliba and Gabriel and John Terry and Carvalho is nasty work.
You compared what?
Who said that,
bro? But just look at the chat. Just look at the chat. That's nasty work.
A great striker still didn't do much.
This isn't guys.
What?
No. I said the head and shoulders best center back pairing in this.
That's
league.
what I'm saying. Trying to compare.
I'm not guys. I'm not Thanos snapping Reece and Kukurea for fucking Marco Senesi. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what's happening.
No, please no, not that.
Yeah, no, do you guys the quote goals win games, defenses win titles?
Guys,
that exists for a reason.
I don't. Okay, so
Pete,
there's
what Peter is saying is it sounds crazy because we all love Reece and the nostalgia and all that shit. But let's be real. Bring me back John Terry and Carvalho, and we'll do a lot more.
We conceded 61 Premier League goals across 114 Premier League games with that as our main center back pair.
Yeah, and guys, you know how we're complaining and bantering them about how like set piece FC and Gabriel? We used to do that. We had John Terry dunking on man week in week. I used to be like, yo, this is I'm getting 7 goals from my center back easy in the league. Easy.
Remember when people were saying Terry can? Remember when people say Terry can score 10 goals a season? Yeah, because of that shit, bro.
Yeah. Also, you're saying we won with David Luiz and Cahill. Brother, do you know who the center backs were during those times? I'm trusting David Luiz and Cahill over Chris Smalling, bro. And fucking that.
Also, David Luiz and Cahill.
Skirtle. I'm sorry. I'm trusting David Luiz over Skirtle, man.
Also, we're not gonna say David Luiz and Cahill are bums. They're not. It's not as if that's not Tosin and Chalobah we're talking about here.
No,
Let's not act as if they're that. Cahill has won.
We won a league with David Luiz and Gary Cahill. We won a league in a back three system with N'Golo Kante, Eden Hazard, Nemanja Matic, and Diego Costa. Give me those 4, and I will. Okay. Also, here's the thing: I don't even rate Cesc contributions in that season that highly. We can have a conversation another time if you want. That's completely fine. Give me this back line. Give me Hazard. Give me Kante. Give me Matic from 8 years ago. Give me Diego Costa, and let's see. I think we'd be up there. I don't think that's a hot take.
Also, just gonna put it out there. Maybe this is a hot take. I think that David Luiz and Cahill were better than what we currently have at centre back.
It's not a hot take.
That too. That's not a hot take.
That's what I didn't think it would be, but just wanted to put it out there.
Bro.
I'll be honest. They'll be the second best centre back pairing in the league right now because Carvalho's on some dumb shit.
Bro,
that's what I'm saying.
If we had Gary Cahill and David Luiz, I'd be a lot more confident that we could actually go for a title.
Oh, we would cook.
I agree.
Do you not, bro? Gary Cahill and David Luiz both played on one leg combined.
Even with all our players fit, Munich. I would take.
Hold on, Marshall. Against Prime Bayern Munich, they both played a Champions League final on one leg combined for 180 minutes or 120 minutes. Let's not act as if they're both scrubs. Stop this. They're not.
Okay.
They are clear of what we have. They're clear of what we have. Stop this. But I do agree Cole is a big miss. However, like
you make up for Cole, you make up for it
because
with
he's injured.
Because
he's injured, people are acting as if Cole being out as if we're missing Maldini. I like Cole.
I'll even go one step further, guys.
Yeah.
I would sacrifice Caicedo and Cole Palmer for that center back pairing. I'll go one step further.
If you add Hazard to that center back pairing with that center back pairing, yes,
of course,
right now,
bro.
yes, I would.
I would say I'll sacrifice Caicedo and Palmer if you give me that center back pairing and Prime Petr Cech. Yep, I would do it.
Oh yeah, actually, yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Bro, I've got
it. You put Petr Cech in there,
yeah, fair enough.
Give me the greatest goalkeeper this league's ever seen. Give me the greatest center back pairing this league's ever seen. You can have all our creativity and good front players. I don't care. We'll figure it out.
Wait. So we've got rid of. So are you saying we've got rid of Reece, Cuckoo, Caicedo, and Palmer for Terry, Carvalho, and Cech?
Yep.
I would take it. Yeah, we have Lavia. Fuck it. We have Lavia and Asuga. Fuck this shit. I'll take it.
Oh, you guys think I'm rage baiting? Nah, I'm not.
I agree.
I fully believe this, guys. I would tell Reece James and Caicedo and Palmer and whoever to their face that I would Thanos snap them for those 3 guys.
Man said, tell your families you love them.
Yes. I wish a lot of our younger fans really got to appreciate what Cech and Terry and Carvalho did for that 2000s team. Because people didn't watch it, it's almost like it didn't happen.
It
was normalized.
We saw the upgrade. We saw the upgrade that Mendy gave our team in 2020. No one in their right mind would fix their mouths to say Edouard Mendy was the quality of Petr Cech in his prime. Nobody would say that. but you saw how big an upgrade going from Kepa to Mendy was and what that did for our team.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine you plug in the greatest goalkeeper this league has ever seen and the greatest center back pairing this league has ever seen. Imagine the quality difference.
Peter, do you think we win the league?
I don't even know who we have in the front position, so maybe not.
Well, no, I
would say we'd get closer that way than how we will this season.
Do you think? Okay, do we win the Champions League then?
No.
Ooh, you give me those three in this team for the Champions League. So I basically have Gusto and Hato at left back and right back. I have amazing goalkeeper, amazing center backs. I got shin kickers in midfield. We can give it a go, man. I don't think we win, but
I think we grind it out in the Champions League.
I'm sniffing a semifinal though. I feel like we probably lose 1-0 on aggregate.
I don't. I think we grind it out and win it, bro. I'll be real.
Listen, if Inter can do that with the way they play, we can do it.
That's a good point.
Yes. CFC unit. I'm throwing away what those guys could be for what I know that center back pairing was for 4 or 5 years with that goalkeeper in front of them. Yes.
You know what? How about this, Peter? Yes. So it's fair. 4-for-4. Take away Caicedo, Palmer, Reese, and QQ. Bring me Terry, Lampard, Carvalho, and Czech. You give me 4-for-4.
I would even take Makelele, but I would definitely take Lampard. Yes,
Makelele's overkill. Yeah, that's overkill.
Yes, guys. The point
I need Lampard because I need some sort of.
The point is the point. Like the beginning of the discussion, we were trying to talk about how you
I'll go one further. Sorry, we don't even have to include. Sorry to interrupt. We don't have to include Lampard. Bro, I take Pedro. You give me all those three in Pedro. That's an upgrade on what we have in the attack.
I agree.
Pedro Rodriguez.
Pedro, bro.
Also, you saying we can't win with Maresca because JT never wanted. Dude, I'm sorry. This is the most Ahmed. Like he could play with both feet. He could ping balls like prime John. What are we talking about? He could do anything.
Bro, can you guys imagine? Can you guys imagine Pedro in those positions that Gittins gets into?
Fuck.
You know, ripping the net yesterday. You know, Pedro would. You can say Pedro was not a lot of things, and that's fine because he was kind of past his prime for most of his time here. Yep. But you could not deny that guy's ability to finish in and around the box with both feet. Yo, I would take it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, we need the Pedro trio in the front, please.
Pedro Neto would have to sit, brother. We got Pedro Rodriguez, João Pedro, and
Pedro's cube, bro.
Hey, Peter, not just Pedro with like his playing with both feet and his finishing. How hard did this guy worked off the ball for that Barca team? If you have him in his prime with us, he plays anywhere in the front line.
Pedro Rodriguez did the Pedro Neto shift while actually being good in the box. Yeah. It was great.
Also,
we used to have players that could do both.
Also, Peter, imagine this. I used to be surprised when we used to concede a goal. No, I used to be like, what the, it's like literally a comment. Like I'm wishing upon a shooting star when we used to concede a goal with Petr Cech, tearing. That shit was magical. I'm not gonna lie. I've never felt so comfortable.
You guys, I'm gonna read you guys some results.
DP, now we have to predict games and think. Okay,
I'm gonna continue reminiscing. And Marshall, I apologize. I realize I hijacked your whole stream, but at the end of the day, man, it had to be done.
I honestly had nothing better to talk. This is more entertaining.
I'm gonna read you guys. I'm gonna read you guys our first 6 results in the Prem after being champions in spring of 2005. Opening day, 1-0 away to Wigan Athletic. Second game, London Derby against Arsenal, 1-0. Third game, West Brom at home. They ate 4, so 4-0. Fourth game, 2-0 away to Spurs. Fifth game, 2-0 at home to Sunderland. Sixth game, 2-0 away to Charlton Athletic. There's a throwback. We didn't concede a goal until Saturday, September 24th in a 2-1 win to Villa. We won 4-1 at Anfield the following week. We were in that weird group with Liverpool. I'm sure you guys probably remember. Yep. We just played a 0-0 during the week, kicked their shins for 90 minutes. Everybody got mad. Then we showed up and dropped 4 on them. We conceded. We won 5-1 at home to Bolton. We didn't drop points till Sunday, October 23rd. 1-1 away to Everton. We just never won at Goodison Park. Thank God that shit doesn't exist anymore. We actually conceded twice to Blackburn Rovers. So that's 4 games, no clean sheets. We lost 1-0 to Man United. won 3-0 at home to Newcastle, 2-0 away to Portsmouth, 1-0 away, 1-0 at home to Borough and Wigan, 2-0 away to Arsenal, 3-2 to Fulham, 1-0 away to City, 2-0 to Birmingham City. I'm halfway through the season. I think we've dropped 5 points. Is it? We lost to United. Yeah, we dropped 5 points in 19 games. Do you guys know how good we were? And you guys are telling me, what about with Caicedo? Nah, man. No. No.
Also, see,
Peter,
5 goals. 5 points. We dropped 5 points.
For those of you
we
who are
dropped
too
5
young,
points out of 57. Do you know
those of you
how
who are
good
too
that
young,
is?
right? During that time, Jose used to predict results. He would predict score lines.
He did the McGregor magic thing that they used to.
Bro, he would write down during the month where he would get points in, bro. Like, people don't. We were gods. It was untouchable. Yes.
Bro, we conceded 2 goals in December, and we had 6 games. We conceded twice, and it was in the same game.
Also,
so we conceded
in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I would take Akuta, Sturridge, Kalu, and Maluda for our attack right now. In a heartbeat, right the fuck.
I would take Load from right now.
Guys,
oh my
God. The first half of the season, after we conceded 15, we conceded 8. 8 times. And you guys are like, what about what Caicedo and Palmer could be? How dare you? You guys don't want us to be great. I understand. You guys don't really want it that bad. You're like,
I'm just gonna say, I want to just make a quick point here. Can we stop, being nostalgia merchants and just focus on the present? How does that sound?
Well, we're having a hypothetical conversation about what it takes to really build a competitive team. Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm not above leaning into terrorism. I'm not above it.
I'm happy with terrorism. Well, if you're gonna be a terrorist, you have to be a terrorist.
Hold on, Peter, just make sure you clarify the real terrorism, not the Ahmed version of terrorism, where we get elected.
Listen, I think reform terrorism is the way to go these days.
Guys, make no mistake. If Maresca had a 25-year-old Carvalho, John Terry, and Petr Cech, he's leaning into terrorism too. Absolutely.
I mean, to be fair, guys, you don't even have to. Well, obviously, what Pete's talking about is prime Chelsea. You don't even have to look back too far to look at what we looked like when we were a really good defensive unit. Look at Tuchel. We currently hold the record for the best defensive run or least goals conceded in Champions League. Yeah. And that was with the Silva, Antonio Rudiger, with
and imagine if you had Caicedo in front of that. And once again, we didn't even have prime Silva. We once again had 37-year-old Silva, bro.
Yeah. You don't have to look that far. It's just yes, defense does win the league. And I'll admit, earlier in the season, I was sold a dream thinking that, second half of the season, we looked pretty good defensively. We were only losing by fine margins, and we were the 3rd best defense in the league, only to see Tosin and Chalobah completely fall off the wagon and get worse than what they were last season in these last games that we've been watching.
One thing to take note of, by the way, is that, it's an interesting thing that I've noticed, both with Poch and with Maresca, the second half of the season, well, at least the last 10 games-ish within that region, goes quite well for them. So... So the team does finish.
No,
I think generally our team does finish strong. That's one thing I will say.
Sure, I think with Poch, the part that differentiates his latter half of the season versus Maresca's latter half of the season is that there were some inexcusable dropping of points in that latter half, right? You could make the excuse for why, Maresca was losing and was struggling towards the latter half. He didn't have a midfield backup. He was running players to the ground. He didn't have a striker. Pochettino didn't have a reason to lose to Middlesbrough, how he lost. Pochettino didn't have a reason to lose a final to Liverpool's kids.
Middlesbrough wasn't the latter half of the season, nor was the final against Liverpool.
Middlesbrough was in January.
Yeah, that wasn't the latter half of the season.
The second half of the season is what I'm trying to get at.
No, but Ahmed's literally talking about the back end of the season, the latter
Even
half.
the back end of the season, though, we lost to 10-man Burnley. Or we couldn't beat 10-man Burnley. What was the result again? It just annoyed me.
It was 2-2.
Yeah, we couldn't beat 10-man Burnley.
Well, we did this. We did this.
Ahmed is still right. The players did their job. It's the managers that make the difference. And
Okay, so not having a striker DHL is not an excuse. Like, what are we doing here? He didn't have a striker.
What are we talking about last season?
Yeah, last season.
Bro, we
Okay,
accomplished
my only
the mission
argument
last
was
season.
like I can give more excuses for Maresca than I can for Poch for how they ended their season.
Nah.
I don't know if it matters. The point is,
It doesn't really.
Poch didn't accomplish the objective, and Maresca did. If you want to say the objective was fair or not, that's a different conversation. For the record, I think Poch did a good job here. I'm not like one of those people who pretends like everything he did was the spawn of Satan.
Pierre's a Poch defender.
I'm just a defender of the situation that the directors have put these coaches in, other than Graham Potter. That guy's a terrorist. The energy people have for Poch is really the energy that Graham Potter needs to get from the entire world of football.
That's kind of true too, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that Potter went
on the back of
the
Potter
still didn't.
I just wanted Chelsea to return to European football. It stunk that we had to play in the Conference League because Manchester United won that FA Cup. That stunk, don't get me wrong. But that whole season, I was like, if we finish 6th, I'm kind of cool with it. So, like, I can't now turn around and be like, oh, that fucking bastard ruined everything. Like, was he the right fit for this club? Probably not. But are most managers not the... No, we finished 6th under Poch.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, we were like 9th most of the season, but we crawled up to 6th at the end, man. We snuck in there.
I think game week 32 was still like 9th, or like game week 33 was still 9th.
Bro, we were 9th to like game week 35, but we snuck in there.
Yeah, we snuck in that in the day.
I'm never one of these, you have to be up there the whole season. Like, you achieve the objective, and I don't really care how you get there when I'm setting an objective for European football. Just fucking get there.
The last stopping point that I actually wanted to end the stream on was this whole idea of discipline issue that's been coming up, and rightfully so. I think it is a little bit concerning when what is it? How many red cards have we had? We've had
7 and 9.
Too many?
7 and 9 or something like that, isn't it?
Have we had a single red card for violent conduct?
No.
I don't think so.
That's good.
Let's read some of these tweets.
I mean, to be fair, the last one could technically he gave that guy an elbow, so
yeah,
it could be violent conduct to him.
No, but it was a second.
It wasn't given. It wasn't given. I know what you mean.
That's more violent conduct than anything we've had, but like we haven't had one given like straight red violent conduct.
Right? So Maresca did say on the lap, I don't need to speak. I don't need to speak with Liam. I spoke with him, but he knows everything. He is aware of the situation. He knows he made the mistake. Full stop. No more than that. Maresca on discipline problem. He said that I think some of the red cards we concede, we can avoid that. He also mentioned that through changing the discipline issue, he mentioned it's also something we need to learn and need to do better for sure. No doubt. We will do better than that in the future. I think, as I said many times, I like to learn and evolve. In this moment, we are trying to do everything and try to avoid this kind of situation. Hopefully, we can learn better in the future. Maresca on whether Liam Delap is a long way from the player he wants him to be. I'm not from England, so sometimes when I try to translate from Italian to English, it's a bit different. When Liam is on the pitch, he is more focused to try his battle with the defender. That's what I was trying to say. There are 3 players in this team that I know better than the rest, Lavia, Palmer, and Delap, because I knew them from the city's U21s. I know Liam will be a fantastic player for us, but there are some things he can improve. Enzo Maresca confirms that Delap said sorry to everyone in the changing room after his red card on Wednesday night, and that's totally something different. But is it a discipline issue, or is it just coincidence that some of these red cards have just been not in our favor?
It's a combination of things. You have to almost take the red cards as a case-by-case thing. Delap's was inexcusably stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
Because why are you rattled on a Wednesday night in Wolves? Like, brother, be an adult. First game in 2 months, like, chill the fuck out. Like, literally do less and you don't get sent off. What was the one we had before that? Was it Forest?
It was the Gusto. The Gusto second year, which was
that's
as well.
That's Gusto. Just I don't know. That guy has like half a brain. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't think it's a discipline issue. I just think some of these guys, like, I think he genuinely forgot he was on a yellow. Like, I don't know. Like, it was so dumb and so like, why are you committing? Why are you committing a tactical foul up 3-0?
Mm-hmm.
Like, unironically, the Gusto one was kind of was just as bad because we were up. I think it was 3-0 at that point.
No, it's worse because you're 3-0. Like, it's not like the guy's running through on goal. He's 70 yards from your goal.
It was in their own half, bro. It was literally
in their own half. like I don't know if discipline is the right word for that. Sanchez, 2 minutes into the game against Old Trafford, I think he just panicked. So I guess you could say discipline in the sense of like pay attention. I don't think it's discipline in terms of like poor temperament. The Santos one against, well, it's really Chalobah, but low key was Santos against Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're trying to build. He makes a poor pass. The guy initiates contact. Like, I don't actually think Chalobah did a whole ton wrong. I think the guy for Brighton, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Diego Gomez or whoever it was, running through on goal, initiated the contact and triggered the dogso, so he gave the ref a decision.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was a smart bit of attacking play. It was unfortunate. It sucked. Ultimately, it cost us a result. Maresca running down the touchline to celebrate a winner. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm sorry if like I should care and I don't. I just don't. Do we have any João Pedro in the Champions League against Benfica? Right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch that one. Casual alert, but some of these games are on while I have work, and I can't always watch them, so I don't actually know what happened with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one I think was also a bit harsh, but I agree with Pete. Like, I don't think we've had a discipline.
We haven't had like a violent conduct red or somebody like just punching. Like, we haven't had like. It sounds weird because like our red cards are mad, but not for the reason that red cards are mad. It's just like, how did we get in this position? Like, one straight long ball at Old Trafford in 3 minutes, and we were immediately in the trenches. Like, how does that happen?
Part of it for me actually is just that I feel like we've obviously got a group. A lot of them have been like young players. I think there's also been times where we've been a bit over eager, if that makes sense, right? And that
for sure, definitely.
That happens, yeah.
And that naturally happens when we've got a young squad,
especially with young.
Yeah. So that's not me being critical of it. I think honestly, I know.
Have we gotten any of? We haven't gotten any of these red cards when we're losing. That's the weirdest part about this.
No, we have not.
We haven't been losing when we've triggered any of these reds. That's the weirdest thing. Like, so I don't know if discipline, in the sense that people typically think of discipline, is the right word for this. I think focus is probably a better one. If you wanted to use the phrase attention to detail, I'd agree with that. But yeah, I don't know if it's a discipline issue, because like we have just fucked ourselves on many occasions with just completely random reds. Yeah, discipline. I don't know, man. But yeah, the Jackson one, Newcastle away, when he lines up Botman and just hits him with the people's elbow. Yes, that's discipline. That's very stupid. But even the one in the Club World Cup where he just ran and clamped someone for no reason after getting subbed on the pitch, it's like, that's just losing your head. My thing is, how can you lose your head if you've been on the pitch for 4 minutes? Like, you're not even warmed up. Like, how can you be that emotional? You just got here.
But it's like what Ahmed was saying, the eagerness to prove, like, you know, especially with Jackson's case, Delap's just coming in, a new kid on the block, taking your chain, the eagerness to just prove, like, I can be in this team. I'm going to put in the work, the extra effort.
Sure.
That extra effort.
Those are not our recent reds. Our recent reds have all been relatively in the flow of the game. Other than Maresca running down the touchline. But like, am I going to get mad at a coach celebrating a last minute winner? I'm just not going to care. I would have probably maybe cared if we dropped points at Forest, but we didn't, so I just don't care. Because I might have done the same thing. The real thing I would like to say to Maresca, if he ever would have listened to the stream for whatever reason, is don't get tacky yellows for complaining about calls. So then you can go celebrate a last minute winner. So you didn't get a straight red. Fair. That's just it's an automatic yellow anytime you just totally vacate the little box that the coaches are supposed to stand in.
Yeah.
So he got a second yellow
that game too.
Yeah, he got a yellow for arguing about a call. Like, don't waste your
It's a
yellows
penalty call.
as the manager beefing with the ref. Waste your yellow celebrating should you ever need to celebrate.
Yeah. Overall, like, I don't think there's a discipline issue. However, I do think when it comes to Liam Delap, you can make the argument, yes, Liam Delap as a player does have a discipline issue. The player that accumulated the most yellow cards last season.
I think the thing with the lap also is his play style. And I know he's very similar. Listen, I'm not saying he's got a very similar
demeanor,
temperament to Costa basically, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's worse.
The thing is, and it's worse. But that's what I'm saying. It's worse and it's untrained right now. Right? He's not really.
But I would make the argument too that, like, if you bring Costa to the game now, I don't think it's the same Costa because he won't be able to get away with half the shit he got away with back then.
I don't agree, dude.
I don't actually agree. I think he would still be the same, and I think he would be able to get away with a lot of stuff. The thing that Costa used to do, like VAR wouldn't check. It's only be like if he did commit like a major foul, or like when he started getting into fights or something like that. That VAR would really check.
The thing was Costa is he would throw his weight around, and like he would put his hand in your face and like wag his finger at you, and like he would probably talk some shit, but like Delap is just not even looking for the ball, just trying to truck people, and it's like, brother,
just trying to macho.
Yeah, like have some self-awareness. Like there's a way to leave a mark on somebody without it being a foul. Like there's no
Kane's good at that, by the way. Kane's very good at that. You know, Kane's got that got the, you know, he's got the elbow.
Like how Kane edges, he stands underneath people as they jump and like knocks them over. Yeah.
He has the elbow thing which he uses when he's under half turn. I don't know if you've noticed that too, where he puts his elbow into people's bodies, which a lot of players do not like at all.
Well, no, because it knocks you off your center of balance, and it's kind of dangerous.
Exactly, yeah.
I get it. I would hate playing against Kane if I was a defender. That guy's a dirty fuck.
Exactly. So you can get away with stuff like that. I just think with him, he's just not honed right now. He's not honed his craft, and he needs to learn to hone his craft better. That's all it is.
Yeah, it'll come in time. He's young, but like, I hope
so.
If he's a player that likes to do shithousery and, you know, dark art stuff, you got to find first of all, don't do it and get sent off. I gotta mute you, Prime, because your mic is moving mad. Don't come on as a sub and get sent off. Like, he should have been listening to what Maresca was saying as soon as you got the yellow card, because he came in, got a yellow card immediately, and then Maresca apparently 5 times in the game shouting at him to calm the fuck down. How about you calm down, bro? You're
just score some goals before you do the dark art shit.
Yeah, that too.
Like Costa's first game, he wasn't beefing with Ben Mee and whoever the fuck Burnley had at center back. Like, that wasn't Costa's first mission.
Ben Mee and Sarcasm.
Yeah, his first mission was bag. And then you can do the evil villain shit. Like, Costa showed up. People forget. He had 7 goals in his like first 4 games before he started doing villain shit.
I remember the Everton game,
Yeah,
where
that's true.
I think that was like our 5th game of the season. We were actually at Goodison Park. I remember this game in particular, and he was being an absolute fucking shit house. And then I remember he scored a goal.
He scored the goal. He scored the last goal in a 6-3, and the whole fucking the whole ground was booing him. It was beautiful. but just score some goals, get your feet under you, and then you control a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Get the stuff that, you know, you were brought into this team to do.
Yes, like I feel like he's too focused on the physical element of the game. It's like, brother, this is not wrestling.
And that's the one thing I'll even say. Like, I remember Brian mentioned this earlier. Like, I feel like in terms of the attack, we definitely needed to improve on a striker position. And I do think, like, it's hard to see it now because Liam has been out for most of the season. But like, Liam and João Pedro, I think are improvements, not the improvements, but are improvements to the striker position. I would say, even if you don't think João Pedro is necessarily a striker.
I mean, yeah, because we had 1 last year, now we have 2.
Yeah, I think even from the potential standpoint, I think Delap could end up being a really good striker in this league. Just he needs to stay fit and not get sent off, because we could have used him against Spurs, but I mean, we didn't need him. Which, thank goodness, we didn't need him. We still got the victory without him. But going forward, against Wolves, against Arsenal, especially. Like, I want to give us the best chance to score. When Liam Delap is on the pitch, I do think our chances increase to score. All right, but yeah, any final thoughts, ladies and gents? Before
Tuchel out this one,
bro. It's been 3 years. Move on.
And he leaves. Okay. Big up every single one of you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show, enjoyed the conversation. I know I did, especially because news for Chelsea has been so dry. I didn't really have much to really discuss. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy the content today. If you did enjoy the content, by all means, smash up the like button, show your appreciation by doing so. Also, be sure to hype up the video because that's a new feature and it does help with the YouTube algorithm, discoverability, and all that fun stuff. So hype up the video. It's absolutely free to do, and yeah, it helps out the channel. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description for more content. Subscribe to the channel, help us get to 5K subscribers. We are well on our way towards that. And yeah, Discord community. I am active on Discord. You can chat to me directly, and maybe some of the people here in the community. So check out the Discord. Always fun time there. We do watch alongs and all that fun stuff there too. Before we head out, we like to give shout outs to our proper casual members and higher. So that's going to go out to Staff 5050, SDFC Benny, Johnny Bravo, Pels, EPL Turf JC, Dark, Lanre Sadiq, Ace Soliman, EE, and Agent. Big up to every single one of you for being proper casuals, and big up to all the other casuals as well in the chat. Enjoy the emojis, enjoy all the cool features you get with that. We will be expanding the membership sooner or later. We're going to raid out to Sarcasm City once again. He's still on right now, so go ahead, show him some love and support by letting him know where you're coming from. We'll be back again. I got American Waffle tomorrow, so go out and check out Staffy TV or the collab section of YouTube here on my channel to watch that. We'll be talking about obviously the results in the weekend. And we'll be probably back again for the review of the Karabakh game on Wednesday. So be sure to tune into that for more content, guys. But until then, as always, stay casual, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you again next time. Peace.